a few, I guess, cases where it hasn't happened, but I think right now I'm quite happy for what Secret got and what the position that they're in.
There are a few things to mention. Obviously, in the grand finals and in the best of 5, you know, side and pick priority matters a lot. Second pick has been king so far. Every team, I think, left in this tournament, like the top 4 were favoring second pick. Tundra and Secret are both also favoring second pick. Tundra got priority for this game, and they went ahead and picked second pick. It's very classic when you're in a second pick situation to try to pick open heroes. And in Tundra's case, it is. Saxa can play the Mirana, so does Snake King. I think 9 even played it one game. The Tuskar can obviously be put on support position as well as mid, so they're keeping it open and they're looking to really try to counter-pick Secret as much as they can in the second phase.
I think they're looking to, you know, match the Tusk with the Leshrac mid in case they get the notion, but we've seen Resolution also play a very mean Leshrac this tournament.
Mid players have investigated the Mirana versus Leshrac also matchup, so I don't know if it's something
that's
we could
probably something, yeah.
We could see that too.
We haven't seen this one too much, but it's a Saxa specialty, right?
That has to be a Saxa hero. So yeah, I mean, everything is pretty still flex for Tundra, minus the Hoodwink.
Quite like the concept, at least, versus Lesh, because the biggest problem about this hero is just knocking him down, right? Not letting him use that Bloodstone to effect to just heal up. Hoodwink with the Shard and everything too, you amplify damage that everyone else is doing, you have the high burst from Sharpshooter. It's an interesting concept that could...
And they also have a very long-range high nuke. Oh, there we go, Secret go for the Enigma. I'm actually very happy to see that.
I think this could also be a support Enigma. I've seen Poppy play that Enigma himself. I mean, he's been very famous for his Enigma over the years, but he actually brought it back to his own kind of playbook very recently. Obviously, it could very well be an offlane hero and Rezo's hero. That's probably the most likely, but we'll see what Secret goes with that.
Yeah, really interesting. Because that also could probably be the Wraith Pact carrier as well, too, for Secret. So maybe now they're starting to switch their dynamic a little bit to match Tundra.
Definitely. And yeah, I think this is one of the few drafts where 33 has been really set up for success. Usually they kind of throw him under the bus. I mean, you know, when it's 33, it's not really throwing him under the bus. He strives under, you know, with any hero in any situation. But right now he's gonna get a late pick, you know, either 18 pick, like after this sequence from Secret, or actually the ultimate last pick maybe for Tundra. So, you know, we're looking to see 33 in a very favorable situation, which is always scary to play against.
Yeah, it's been 7 out of 9 games where his hero got first phase.
Yeah.
The last 9. So here he gets a delicious second phase. I'm curious to see what it's gonna be.
Beast is out, Brood is out.
Visage is still in, but last time he picked Visage, they lost.
He's played a lot of Tide also with a lot of success. It could be a hero he looks at.
10 seconds
we'll see. I mean, he could also be quite innovative and, you know, do something we haven't seen him do yet.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, we see the Lich, so most likely the heroes are starting to get locked. Like Nisha's most likely the Lesh, Resolution's going to be the Enigma.
So one of the trends we've seen this tournament, obviously this Leshrac has been dominating, and one of the answers to this Leshrac has been a heavy amount of physical damage. It's something that punishes the Bloodstone, you know, when he kind of dies through the tag team or the Slaughter. We've seen the Snipers, the Linas, and then we've also seen as an answer to that the Liches and the Sven with the Shard or Lich Frost Shield, kind of helping the Leshrac fight through. In that case, you know, Tusk counters Lesh, but Lich helps Lesh play against Tusk.
Oh boy,
and we're going for the Naga.
Ooh.
I think this is one of the stronger strats that I've seen come out of Tundra, and also in the meta. They get the classic Naga Mirana, but it's also this very long range, kind of hard to get heroes together, so it can be a real pain to be an Enigma or to even be a Leshrac in these type of games.
And it seems to be Tundra's style that you guys were mentioning also too, is opening up the map, right? That's what this hero always allows you. It lets you pick and choose your battles when you want to. When you're playing versus something like high cooldown like Enigma, can tend to thrive.
If you want to visualize how this game might play out, you know, for Secret, think about Tundra, first of all, is one of the teams that utilizes nighttime the best, I think. You know, they respect very much the 2 sequences in Dota, that is daytime and the reduced nighttime vision. So they usually go on the offensive on nighttime, which is actually a key factor on how they dominate their games. Think about nighttime, playing versus Naga Illusions, scouting your heroes, Moonlight Shadow, you do not see heroes, and then you have this Tusk, Hoodwink, bottom kind of high bursty heroes that can just pop a Leshrac, pop an Enigma right away. That's the kind of pressure, in and out pressure that Tundra really excels at in teamfights, and Naga fits that style perfectly. All their heroes are really designed to do so.
Yeah, so we see a lot of interesting things going on. They banned Nyx themselves. Last time Secret played against Naga, they actually ended up having the Nyx. Nyx now, I mean, every lifesteal works in Illusion, and I think that's a big reason.
The open wounds with the Leshrac.
With the Leshrac,
and now they banned the Morphling to protect the Naga pick. They were already planning it, and now they're also banning Bloodseeker, which is something that they also played previously. I want to say, I'm not sure. But there was a Morphling game here. In Bloodseeker, the same thing. You can also end up becoming this lifesteal bot where the illusion poke stops mattering. But yeah, I wonder what Crystallis is going to go for. I don't think it's an easy choice for him.
No, they've targeted him a lot, right? We've seen throughout all DPC, people that kind of made the jokes for him, especially him himself. He's like, yeah, I have my 3 big heroes, right? A lot
But
of them
he proved
are.
all the haters wrong. Like, honestly, that's why he's here.
I think they really have to think about and try to guess what 33 is going to be looking at also, and try to kind of...
I mean, they don't even care the visage. Look at that. I think that's a big statement also coming into game number 1. You know, you have a chance to make him maybe feel uncomfortable, but instead you're going for what you think is the right pick for them.
Not sure how much I would like Visage for Tundra anyways as the last
I mean,
pick.
probably not the strat with Naga,
Yeah.
I would say. I don't think at all that's what he would should go
10
for.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, it could be the Tide,
I think they have
perhaps.
to respect the Tide, and
Yeah.
that most likely will try to
5
pre-pick
seconds
for the Tide
remaining.
launcher. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Tide is also what he would be looking at. I also think Batrider is a really strong hero with this kind of strategy. I don't know if it works. I mean, it has some value, you know, with the heroes that you have, but even against the Lesh and the Lich, you can get like some high magical damage scaling meta hero, but I don't think he's played a single Batrider game.
Maybe not this tournament, but it's definitely one of his very strong heroes, so it
Seen
would
it-
not be a surprise.
Seen a couple teams even try like the Brewmaster versus the Lash, right? Where you just
Yep.
lift him, ignore him. A
Yeah.
lot of situations
Yeah.
too. Is left in the pool. It is.
You also get a
Meta hero.
dispel. You get a dispel for
There's the
Frost
draw
Shield.
ban.
Yep.
Okay.
It could be a great brew pick, by the way, and it's a very big 33 heroes.
Yeah.
33 hero, by the way. I think it's a great suggestion.
When I see like the Drow as well too, we saw even
Yes.
though the game was kind of back and forth, you saw that long duration silence in a lot of fights just devastate him too. So
I do think it's a little anti-synergy with the
10
Naga.
seconds
Quite
remaining.
often, it doesn't really mesh super well. But of course, I mean,
5 seconds
I respect.
remaining.
I'm the biggest Brew fan on this panel. I don't care what you guys say. Brew for life.
Wow.
I would pick Brew every day.
It's a great
every
hero.
game.
same. But not really because I can't play it. But I don't know, if I could play it, then, yeah.
Let's see. I mean, they have very
What's
little time
left?
to work with,
What's
and
left
a
for
lot of
Crystallis?
heroes have been banned for Crystallis. Yeah. I mean, he's played some Ursa and
Ursa this game.
no, probably not, right? But out of the heroes that he's been looking at, I mean,
Yeah. I'm just. It's hard. It's hard for him to choose.
Ursa,
I
he's
think.
played Ursa and Dawnbreaker that I can think of this tournament.
Dawn is still in?
that aren't banned.
The Dawn was nice when they played it.
Oh,
That is
let's
an
go.
illusion. That's an illusion killer too.
Nice. Yeah, and the Flesh Sheep now also working
Yeah.
against small instances of damage.
It's a good matchup. I mean, I think it scales pretty nicely into a Naga.
It's also the hook versus the sleep. It has a lot of value. I mean, even now you can even hook through sleep.
Yeah, you
They
can.
changed that, so you can hook your allies out, you can hook the enemy. Yeah, and this Naga cannot sleep TP with the early levels of sleep. You need, I think it's level 3 sleep to get
Yeah.
full max range.
And this Pudge with Frost Shield,
Exactly.
he's going to be really hard to take down.
It's a nice frontliner, nice like
yeah.
distraction as well for the Lesh Shrek
Yeah.
to kind of do his own thing. The Pudge can kind of force spells onto him and then protect the Lesh. That's
Do you
pretty
think
cool
this is
pick.
Crystallis calling, or do you think this is like the team and Heen, you know, providing also good suggestions? Because I didn't even think of, you know, this Pudge coming in here. I had forgotten.
I think a lot of people might. It has kind of started getting forgotten in a way, right? But because Lifestealer was so prominent, people have started to learn how to like play versus it. But
And he
There
goes
it
They
is.
will
right
go
now.
for
But
it.
hey, isn't this Lich Pudge against the Tide Hunter?
But I think
That's-
he looks at a lot of the tight bottom, chain stun, you know, with
Of course,
the
of course,
It's
yeah.
like they're going for their bread and butter strat. And obviously, I do feel like Secret covered very nice angles. Both teams really got drafts they must be super happy about. And that's the first game. So it's very exciting.
Who would you rather be?
Hard to say. I think Tundra, their strategy is very strong, you know. I'd put Secret on the back foot, even though I really like what they went for.
So I believe that this is just too good of a Lesh game. I think Lesh is going to pace on them, and I think it's going to force them into these early fights. And with the early game that I see Secret having, I would have to go with Secret draft to draft, even though I'm also the biggest Naga lover on this panel. Like, I think Naga is an incredible hero. I think if it goes past a certain point, I think Naga is going to start being too much of an issue. But I think Secret's going to roll on them.
And Fog, yourself, I mean, that first pick sort of still standing strong,
Yeah.
as these two have sort of said. And Nisha, he's sort of been the one to stand out and kind of single-handedly carry Secret through some of the tougher games. Is this going to be another one of them, or do you think Tundra do have the methods to deal with this Lesh?
I'm with my boy Johan, I think, this time. I like the Lesh Pudge versus the Illusion strat. I think it's going to be pretty hard for Skeeter, but maybe 9. You know, his Tusk has been miraculous in some games, so eyes on him.
I hope this game doesn't go on for Secret's case. If not, I think we're going to see another repeat of yesterday's game. Long game, Naga doing his thing. Slowly, people start getting picked off. You get forced into your base. Yeah, I mean, Secret, they're going to have to bring the same early game that they did yesterday and, you know, keep the ball rolling.
Sure, and Seb, do you sort of also agree in sort of that timing sense that if this does go on, Tundra as a squad, and especially with the lineup that they have here, it's going to be tough for Secret as the minutes pass?
I've seen Tundra's first map this tournament, and ever since I can't stop thinking about them. I've watched all their replays. I think the way they play Dota is absolutely wonderful, and in my opinion, steps ahead of other teams. So, you know, I can't not put them favorites, whatever they're gonna play actually. So I really want Secret to challenge them.
Yeah, and sort of just in terms of overall feel as well. You know, you're coming into this game 1 of the grand finals on the main stage. Who's got the easier to execute lineup?
Easier? I mean, I think it's Secret.
Yeah.
I would say it's Secret. Like, I think
Really?
Tundra have to dodge bullets. Like, they have to dodge the tide lane. They have to dodge, like, the snowball from the Lesh and, like, how they're going to get momentum. Yeah. I mean, my gut is telling me Clement wants to break the curse. He is not here for second place. He's here to win.
Okay, well, thank you very much, boys. Looking forward to having you join us for Game 2 draft. But for now, just before the game, we're going to be able to head over to Slacks and hear from the coach.
Thank you so much, OD Pixel. Hello, I am here, ladies and gentlemen, with Howie 2000 from Tundra. First time we've seen him today. Give it up! Oh, there we go! The stadium is alive, my friend. So good to have you yet again. I got some bad news for you. Okay, Lesh, Enigma, Pudge, I hear these are pretty good heroes. You guys let these ones through, no bans. Are you prepared for this? Have you, you know, spent your time getting ready?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the finals today, we decided we want to, it's a best of 5. We want to play versus the Lash track, see how it goes. You know, it's a best 5. It is what it is.
Okay, all right. Are you confident in that last pick of the Tidehunter? Big beefy boy going against that big beefy Pudge. What does he provide for the team, if you would give us any insight? I mean, we're in the finals, the patch, come on. Give me some real info here.
I think he'll buy good aura items and give us some team fight versus them. I think Netta's Tidehunter is, like, by far one of his best heroes. He wins, like, every pub on the hero, so we're really confident on it.
Okay. Sir, how far do you see this series going? You think we're going to Game 5?
It'd be fun.
It would be fun for you, and it'd be fun for us, but let's find out how at least Game 1 is going. We'll throw it back to the casters.
Thank you very much, Slacks. And one more thing just before we get into the action. We've got a very little special video here from Resolution, a bit of a pep talk before this game begins. Let's hear what he had to say.
I mean, honestly, like, this is what we play for, guys. We are playing for this moment. Let's enjoy every second of it. We're not gonna get many of these. Maybe 6 more, I mean 5 more. That's what I want, but you know, still.
There we go. Some fantastic words there from Rezo. Nice. Smiles all around as well. Very much ready for the game. We'll see how ready he is, though, because Tundra, they're going to find him here for this first bit of action. Trapped out by the shards, or maybe not. No, we can't quite get around. Doesn't matter. He's going to get hooked underneath the tower. Christmas gets the angle, but Saxa was the first to get that first kill. Gets first blood for Saxa, but in return, Nisha will be able to pick up the kill onto 9 there off the back of that excellent hook for Chrysalis.
Trade. But Nisha, as you mentioned, he gets the kill, so we'll get that earlier bottle for the matchup mid. And yeah, let's look at all these lanes, how they're going to be broken down, right? We've got the snaking. He's been playing this Mirana time and time again throughout this tournament. 4 branches, strong laning items, and we've got this, this 33 Tide with Saxa on his Hoodwink. Something they haven't played too much as of late, but they used to play it a lot. Get a hook onto the Tide, they'll be just fine. And yeah, lots of physical damage coming out from this bottom lane. Something that I think can be sometimes deceptive.
Well, I mean, look at that. Nisha's kind of interested in getting involved in a bit of a chase there. Ooh. But won't continue to take any more attention away from the middle lane, or just be left to Chrysalis and Puppy to chase 33 down a little bit. Chrysalis, of course, having to be careful himself. As we'll see them settle here into the laning stage. And, you know, we've got to sort of talk about as well comments there from Owie before the game. Do you sort of like that approach? Game 1 of the grand finals.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Just to see if you can deal with it. You've got many games to recover if it doesn't go great.
You know, it's something that people always talk about with Puppy, right? What he does, he gives the team their heroes. If he beats it, then it's like, oh my god, you know, you kind of break a team strategy. So I think it's a really cool approach. And just looking at these lanes now, we have the Lich Pudge versus the Tide versus Hoodwink. Both of the bottom heroes on Secret starting with bringing a protection to deal with that physical damage, to try to tank up, because sometimes, like we mentioned, it can be a bit deceptive.
Let's have a look at some of these lanes. I mean, overall, who do you have the biggest concerns for? Anybody going to have a specifically tough time in these early minutes?
I'm looking at bottom, to be honest with you. I mean, it depends on how much damage they're able to do with this, like, Gush plus this Acorn shot, but it's a lot of magical burst that could sometimes trip up a Tide, so see if 33 is able to hold up with it. They are pretty limited on regen also, but it tends to be, you know, the Tundra approach, not having too many tangos. They like their mangoes a lot.
This mid lane matchup in particular, you know, of course, 9, one of the fantastic mid players to just continue to bring these heroes in that nobody else will really consider playing mid. Here he is, of course, bringing out the Tusk once again after game 1 of the grand finals. Up against the Nisha Leshrac, though. Yeah, you've got to imagine on paper, this is not going to be too easy for the Tusk, right? He's got to be careful against Nisha.
I think just because of that kill that Nisha gets, you know, the bottle being coming out so early. Otherwise, I've seen this Tusk actually be pretty decent in a lot of these matchups versus range. But yeah, I think Nisha, he's going to blast.
Chrysalis is going to be okay here. Both spells on cooldown from Saxa and 33, so no further chase, but fair bit of a harass, keeping Chrysalis pressured underneath the tower.
Starts to get easier for Secret once they get the Frost Shield levels, which they now do have, so a lot of that physical damage resistance for Chrysalis. But as we've seen so many times, Tundra, this offlane, these two, they're special together. Something about them. They even lane matchups you think they can't win, they sometimes end up just doing some type of crazy lane shenanigans and coming out ahead of it. So let's see how they do adapt.
I mean, what are some of the things that they do so well that kind of means that they, countless times, they are the duo that's just winning out in this lane?
It just feels like they always know how to trade a little bit better. Either they either trade or they just do these constant lane pulls, shenanigans with Saxa, just re-manipulating where the lane positioning is. So it's just a Tundra specialty. We're seeing top also starting to have a bit of struggle as tends to happen versus these Enigmas. The Eidolon's building up. Chrysalis will be okay.
I mean, that bottom lane really...
It's the lane to watch.
It's a case of, you know, how much do Tundra try and push for that kill on the Pudge?
Yeah.
Yeah, before Chrysalis is suddenly getting buffed up and able to turn around. You know, Saxa in particular has to be very, very careful how close he gets to the Pudge. Up on the top lane so far. Any sort of surprises here?
No, not so much. I mean, the Eidolon spam, you know, it continues to happen whenever you are playing those carries. It's going to be affecting you a little bit. But Skeeter, he's holding his own, him snaking. They have kill threat constantly, too, the early point in net with that arrow combo. So something to look out for, especially on Zayat. But Red Zone, he's always got those Eidolons, so they have a lot of ways to protect and block arrow combos and stuff like that with the summons.
Yeah, and all in all, in terms of the how good the game is for the Enigma, you know, how good is it for Rezo? Is it going to be easy for him to have impact with the Black Hole, or is this going to be one of those games where it's kind of everything else about the hero that's going to have its strengths?
It feels like that tends to be the story for the Enigma a lot of times. But if you look at his items that he's got queued up, you know, we did mention the Wraith Pact comparison of the team. He's going to go for the Black Hole plays and just play around his Malefice and stuns from a distance.
Absolutely, I think something that we're going to be very, very happy to see.
Yeah.
None of this sort of Wraith Pact rubbish. You know, we want the action, we want the Black Holes.
Hey, if you look at the way the lineups can go at some point, there is going to be that lack of BKB disable, of course, for the Enigma. Sure, they're going to be able to sleep and reset and do these kind of fights that we see Tundra do a lot of times. We see a lot of teams do with Naga Siren, but could get to some points where you have to take these fights. Bottom is... Oh, he lands it!
Lovely little angle there. They've got the blast as well to slow Saxa down, but because the creeps are pushed in, tower hits will be tanked up by the wave, so Saxa are able to walk out. And Chrysalis definitely showing so far. I don't think he's missed a hook, really. Every single one of them on point, so gotta watch out for those down the road.
But 33 is free fall. So that lane that we were taking a look at, they've actually been able to solidify for this Tidehunter pretty nicely with Saxa's harassment. And Chris is just staying kind of low, which is a bit scary. He could constantly be getting on.
We'll have that Ring of Health coming out to him, so likely to be consistently in a position where his health's a bit higher. Saxa will find himself on top of Chrysalis. They're trying to get aggressive on towards the Pudge. Saxa has the stick charges at the ready. Chrysalis, he's going to get the kill before he goes down. So they push for the kill there on the carry. I imagine something that Tundra's going to be pretty happy with. Saxa goes down, but all according to plan, I'd imagine there for Tundra, taking down Chrysalis.
Yeah, they just have, like we said, there's just such an interesting approach to the way they do it. Even the Blades of Attack being picked up early on 33, not going for any tanky items. This is a fighting build. Phase boots right away, trying to benefit off that Blightstone, any type of minus armor they can put onto this Pudge. And it worked.
Yep, and this is sort of the classic def you see at this sort of moment from supports in that bottom lane. Me and Saxa can get over the mid, get the bottle top back up. Voila. Definitely the sort of trades that, if you're secret, you're not going to want to allow Tundra to get against you anymore in this laning stage. Be a bit more careful on when they make the calls to commit for kills.
Up top. Not enough to chase. Catch on bottom, though. Constant aggression on these side lanes.
And once again, Chrysalis trying his best to trade, but especially when it's 33 that's the one on top of him, not at a point where Pudge just has enough damage to kind of bring down the Tide. Tide's able to threaten them. Back up in the top jungle, Zayat's and snaking.
Snaking might be able to get this.
Same time in the mid, Nisha. It's got a decent amount of mana to try and run down 9. Stick charges are there though, and 9 far enough under the tower to survive, but back in the jungle, snaking will win the battle of the supports.
Yeah, we see that stat build for Snake is really working. Nisha,
Very low around this mid lane.
there's a punch.
Saxa's coming to try and help out with the setup. He's got a bit of a bolt charge and a fairy fire. It's not enough to keep him alive though. 9 and Saxa take him down. Saxa coming out with some top moves already from so the intentional death bottom, helping out the mid, and once again being around that mid lane, around these power runes to get that extra bit of power that 9 needs to get a kill.
And now look at bottom. That physical damage. Crystallis, it's too much.
Bushwhack, I mean Saxa, he's in every single bit of place that they need him to be. That's a big hit, of course, with that 3 points and anchor smash and the blaze of attack on top of the face, but that's a hefty right click coming out from 33 off the back of the anchor smash. And I mean, this Hoodwink is looking kind of spooky, Fog. He's all over the place and he's making big moves.
And it's into like Secret. They did the preparation, right? They had to bring the protection to kind of try to protect versus physical. They had the frost shield, but it's not enough. This build from 33, going for that Wraith Pact, more than likely rushing it. He's gonna be able to keep his sustain down there too.
Top lane. An excellent angle there for Snaking, sneaking round through the trees, catches Rezo by surprise.
Wow.
Tundra getting kills up and down the map right now. The Eidolon's not quite enough to finish Snaking off. Maybe they can still find him in the jungle. They can, and just off to the side of the lane. They will be able to take him down in return. But very much we're seeing sort of the supports from Tundra really just enabling the cause already in this early laning stage, getting them that extra bit of a bonus off the back of these kills. 6-3, 1k lead at the moment for Tundra.
Really clever moves, really clever positioning as well too, and we're probably gonna see more of these rotations. 15 seconds until we do have that power rune coming out, so eyes on Saxa, see if he does make the rotation. Even filling up again for Knight, so I want him to be as fight ready as possible. 3 heroes collapsing on both sides.
Trying to get the chance to trap him in there with the shards. Won't quite find it. We'll see 8-minute power rune where it's going to be. It's going to be top, and Secret this time they'll be able to hold on to it. Nisha able to grab it. Snowball coming out the way of Zayat. Only going to set up for the stun for Nisha. He's ready to run down 9. 9 has got the help from Saxa. Saxa with a bushwhack holds them back, but they'll still be able to run down 9. At this time, Secret, they'll bring in the extra firepower required around this mid lane. They're going to make sure that this time round, Nisha, he's not left alone.
There's just so much burst damage from both sides. We're going to be seeing heroes just getting popped left and right. But after the start of the laning phase, it's looking really nice for Tundra. Even though they were up against some of these could be tougher lanes, they've done excellent versus the Naga Siren, farming perfectly fine versus the Enigma. Even getting that early kill is a big deal. So Secret, they want to start getting a little more active.
Early little smoke here from Nisha. Feels to join Zayat and Rezo up top around this point where level 6 is online for the Enigma.
Rezo.
Black hole if he finds the chance to turn and use it. Nine is going to try to go for it, but Rezo is ready. The 6 is there. Black hole comes out onto the 2 of them. Zayat and Nisha, they're in with the cleanup. Tundra, they try and make that play.
And another one.
Now Saxon's got to be careful getting himself back into the trees, back behind the tower, but Zayat, he's still sweeping around. They may still find him. See how much they want to try and search. It's going to be difficult to find him. He's pretty deep, but Nisha, very resilient, continues to go further and further into the trees. They'll catch him as well. 3 dead on the top lane. Tundra, the ones to start that play onto Resolution. It was a big risk to tech. They were really banking on the fact that he was on his own, but he wasn't. The smoke from mid, Secret, they catch them by surprise.
Beautiful read, really. After these last few moments, Tundra getting all these moves that are working for them. Secret, they strike back. Tundra, and also, I mean, they made this move. It's not the squishiest of heroes on the Enigma. With just these two on Tundra, they need a little bit more burst, so do have to be careful. And now he gets tower. It's gonna be really early blink going.
Yeah, early tower will definitely help fuel that purchase. Already pre-10 minutes and hitting these sort of objective timings. In this top lane now, would you imagine, if you're Tundra, how do you sort of start to slow down Secret's speed of getting control of this half of the map?
It's not going to be easy. They might have to just start making moves elsewhere. Maybe use the illusion just to scout things out, but it's not going to be easy for them to really just contest up versus Rezo now at this point. After dying once, it kind of dissuades you from really going up there until you do have, like, Sox having level 6 to have that extra bit of burst damage to follow up with the Tusk. Might look to start playing around 33, I'd imagine. He's the one who's having that incredible game. I believe he has the Vlad's finished, so maybe looking to start pressuring this tower down here.
Of course, he has that Ravage good to go if he sees a chance to set up for a kill on Crystallis to get some extra help. They get the toss back onto Snaking. Doesn't stand a chance against the amount of damage they've got. Back down bottom, trying to hold back Crystallis.
It's got the Vanguard.
A bit hard to commit.
They try to glib for it, but does get the hook onto that siege.
They're bringing in a third here, and 9 is around. With 9 diving in.
Secret's full rotating though.
And Tundra, you know, they sort of learned from the mistake up top. They don't want to try and push for these kills too much. They know that Secret at the moment, they are on full responsive mode.
It's a pretty devastating lineup to try to commit into these kills too. And as we saw, that Black Hole, also Chain Frost for the Lich, it can just turn any type of these tides.
Being much more careful now. See in terms of position for Tundra, they'll leave to that top lane here for the Mirana.
Yeah, just start jungling up. Skeeter scouting out with his illusions as well. They're going to constantly get cleaned up, though, seeing Zayats do that a few times.
Radiant's middle tower.
See if they're able to just continue to enable space for Skeeter to keep up on the Naga side. So far, so good, of course, has a solid 1,000 gold lead against Crystallis, carrying here for Secret on the other side.
Things are close. So, as Noto and Seb were saying, you know, the pace of the game for Secret, they probably want to accelerate things a little bit more. Tundra, whenever there's these low periods, they're pretty happy. They're not getting pressured.
You're going to see if they can take down Crystallis here with the three of them. See what sort of help he gets this time round. It doesn't look like there'll be enough to save him as Tundra. They'll get the kill. They strike again when they know that it's still at this point where Secret, they've probably not got the TPs back up. They just don't have the methods to respond when Tundra time their aggressive moves like that.
This Hoodwink seems to just be the specialty, right? This burst damage, getting that 6 now.
Radiant structures are
Should be able to set up for this tower, finish it up. They still have Ravage too, so the threat. Secret, look like they're going to play on other sides of the map. Nisha going to start hitting mid. He pretty much has the Bloodstone done.
Top net worth. Nisha. He's had many of these games where he's been at the top.
And he'll have
the whole match.
He'll have this Bloodstone a bit before the Wraith Pact is going to come out too. So we've seen a couple times Tundra, they've counteracted this Bloodstone a lot because you just prevent how much damage it does, you prevent how much healing. So if they do get that timing, Secret could start to take advantage of the map a little bit here. Bloodstone is done, so playing around this Lesh, it's going to be problematic. Tundra might have some issues in these next few moments. They're going to have to bring the Tusk and the Hoodwink maybe into most scenarios just to burst this Lesh down.
We're seeing a Secret, they know how strong Nisha is at this moment. They smoke him up, take him anywhere on the map.
It's got very
outnumber Tundra, they'll have a very solid fight on their hands, no doubt about it. Saxa in good position,
the scan catches
by the moonlight.
Scan as well catches the Secret rotation.
So maybe unlikely now that Secret are going to be able to make this sort of jump with any sort of level of surprise. Quick turn with the bushwhack, make sure that there's no further jump over towards Saxa, and Saxa immediately ready to turn. They trap Zayats in the shards, sets up for both the arrow and the sharpshooter to bang on target, take down the kill.
That burst from a distance, you don't really need to commit too much of anything. And now Secret, their rotation ends up not working, not getting them anything big. Does show that the Bloodstone is finished though, so I think Tundra, they're going to keep tabs of that, sit back, farm a little bit, wait until they have an opportunity to actually catch this Lash when he split away from his team. And Skeeter, he's still doing fine, you know, still loving life. Things are not too problematic, even though he has that death that they had going for the Enigma. He still has pretty good timings on his items.
Absolutely, yeah, he knows that when Secret try and poke at the rest of his team down there on the bottom half, this whole area of the map opens back up a little bit more for him. As you can see, the wall control, it's too bad at all for them. There's not any deep vision from Secret around this area, so Tundra pretty happy to continue to hold this area for Skeeter to keep the farm up and stay up there towards the top. Only a couple of hundred behind Nisha's farm.
They've got the Wraith Pact down now too, so they probably can look to just fight back into this Slash Strike. They do need to just watch out of the big ultimates that are in there too. The Lich plus that Black Hole. Just need to be careful how far they overcommit versus Secret's pretty tanky lineup. Zayats.
As we've seen many times, you've got to be careful how you try and poke towards Tundra. When Nine's around, he's just trapping you in the shards every single time you step up alone. Nisha, got that haste rune. We'll see if he's able to chase down anything in return. Nice little sidestep there from Nine. Make sure that he doesn't get caught out by the stun. Tundra's back under the tower, and Nisha won't be getting any kills today with this haste. Unless...
I mean, they're watching him, though.
I mean, they know that the haste is about to come to an end. Again, some excellent dodges from both sides here. Last minute or so, Nisha making sure the arrow doesn't catch him by surprise.
They need more heroes there. If they're going to go for some type of Ravage play, they need to go for those chain stuns if they're going to try to get Nisha. Very tanky, 1800 HP with the Bloodstone.
And as you say, that is the thing as well, though, for Tundra. If they try and play with their ult Secret, they'll very much be ready to respond with their own ultimates. Both teams having huge teamfight ultimates to drop. We'll see in the middle, Nisha. It's the time again, he's on his own. They have Bloodstone charges, but Tundra, they're just able to blow him up. A bit of a rare situation there where Nisha was alone, and Tundra, they make sure they don't miss out on the opportunity. And they make the move immediately, and nobody else is around for Secret.
No, he didn't have any help, exactly. And they dropped the Wraith Pact down, so there you see, even though he popped Bloodstone, he has all this damage coming out. It's actually not that much damage, nor that much healing. No cares if they're going to commit Ravage there, it's perfect.
Should be a free tier 1 tower, I'd imagine. They have put the fortification. We'll see if Secret try and force a fight. There's still 10 seconds, no Nisha.
Look at the vision control as well, too, from Tundra. They have Ward on high ground, kind of watching everything right now.
And they'll back off for now, respecting the fact that Nisha soon to be back up. But the damage certainly done to this tier 1, incredibly low. Next push will take it off the map. Secret, as soon as Nisha's back in play, They might just try and find some sort of move around him. This time round, making sure that they're in position to enable the Lesh and not allow him to get caught out alone.
That's the biggest thing, right? They have to start playing as much as possible around Nisha. Try to slow down Skeeter, because all these moments ticking by, this Naga Siren's just getting all the free farm in the world. Manta's finished, has an Arcane Rune, so he's going to be able to push out these lanes freely. Just keeping all these lanes shoved in, so it's hard for Secret to really make a move without them getting caught themselves. And yeah, that deep vision, Tundra, I mean, having these deep wards that haven't been taken out is a big deal right now.
A 4K lead for Tundra. Very much, you say, taking over the map. And with the Moonlight Shadow.
Saw
See if
Rezo.
they can catch Rezo alone. Rezo senses something's up though.
He is squishy now. I mean, he has not built any HP items whatsoever. 1,000 HP. They have a plethora of burst damage.
This is a scary place. Tundra, they won't hesitate to dive if Nine's able to set up with the shards into the trees. He's going to try for it, see what he can find, and he finds him.
It's a perfect trap.
I'll get the bushwhack in as well. Rezo getting taken down behind his tier 2. Once again, Nine just continuing to be bang on target every single time with these shards.
And this is pain. I mean, look at the moments. 5K gold lead now. Crystallis, he hasn't been able to find much of anything after the laning phase. They're making all the space in for Skeeter, and they're getting kills out of it too.
They need to slow Tundra down somehow, or look to make some sort of fight happen around their own ultimates. Just set the team fight up for Nisha to be able to burn through these enemies with this incredible amount of damage he can do as the Lesh.
I mean, they're keeping all the lanes pushed in. Look, Snaking goes to the scary lane. Top, he's going to push that one out quickly. Mid's pushed in, bottom's pushed in. Skeeter's already starting to look to cut some waves. Okay, maybe suiciding some illusions, but looking to cut some waves. Yeah, the pressure on the map, it's too much right now for Secret.
Just getting information on who's sort of still sat back here in the base. They know that Rezo's only just stepping out, so they can sort of plan for the movements of this Enigma and make sure that they're ready to prepare for any sort of jump Secret tries to make on them.
And look, they're building more and more dead. Crystallis, he's really far.
Deep. Very far up the lane. Now you can see Tundra, they're a bit hesitant. They know that if he's going to play aggressive like that, chances are that the rest of Secret's there to back him up, and Secret were able to step up.
As soon as they see anything, though, 33 is just knocking on a tier 2 bottom as this Tide. Getting close to his pipe as well, so all this damage mitigation for the Lesh.
I mean,
it's starting to get online.
Yeah, the amount of pressure that Tundra can apply, something that we've seen them always had the power to do with the drafts they normally enter in with. 33's Tide just being able to sit down here, Skeeter able to split the map up with his illusions. It's just a whole lot of everything that Secret's having to deal with right now.
Tower's just continuing to get hit. 33, he just knows he's free down here because he also has that ward backup. He has Skeeter near him too. Tundra playing the map beautifully. And yeah, they got that shard early on Soxa, so that burst damage that we were talking about, they're gonna have so much of it to be able to take out this Lash, to take out that tanky Pudge. And yeah, lanes are already starting to get cut. There's already a Naga Siren problem.
You very much see it in the net worth, and indeed so far, Secret not really being able to use the power of the Pudge. Now, Crystallis still very much behind here in the farm, and we see underneath the tower, Tundra will start poking at him, getting him pretty low. Chain Frost will be thrown out, but not too many bounces at all. And 33's ready to go back in onto Crystallis. Secret, at this stage of the game, they can't even protect their Pudge underneath their own tier 2. Rezo jumps forward. They're looking towards 9, but 9 is forced down to the side. He's going to be able to step away. See if they can continue to try and get any further catch. Zayas will be able to get the toss back onto 9, so they'll take him down. But look, very much, it's such a struggle here as we're seeing for Crystallis. Yep. Under tier 2, Secret, the rest of his team pretty close by. They couldn't help him.
And they need to get more.
Tundra, they're ready to try and pick more kills out of this here as they head into the jungle as Secret. Catch out puppy, Ravage with 33. Puts an end to the life of Zayat. And Nisha has to step back. It's just him and Rezo on the retreat right now.
Rezo?
See if they can get any further setup. Rush from 33. Sharpshooter hit coming in as well. Respawns will be there for Secret. Crystallis back in action. Tundra, they won't push their luck. They know that they're maintaining this lead. And as we've seen time and time again, once they get that lead, Tundra, they very, very rarely throw it away.
Especially if they have Skeeter on something like this Naga Siren. I mean, he's been absolutely free the whole game. He's got the Orchid, he's on his way to the heart, and it feels like there's going to start being some really big damage issues on Secret. And the map just continues to be pressured everywhere too, right? Tundra, they're forcing so much bottom. It's like 4 or 5 heroes of Secret having to react to this. Meanwhile, Skeeter's just, he's loving life. Plan is being executed perfectly by them. And for Secret approaching into any of these fights, like Zayat, he still doesn't even have his Blink Dagger yet, so him being able to jump in, get some type of repositioning, getting some fight advantages, it's not easy. Rezo is the one with the Blink as the initiator, but as we've seen time and time again, he's just very squishy at this point. He'll just die if he goes in.
It's not easy at all for him to find the chance to get these black holes off, and especially before he has that BKB done. And pretty much impossible if Tundra, they turn up in numbers.
And look at this approach from 33. You know, we were talking about damage mitigation so much. It tends to be a big thing that Tundra's going for. The pipe, the Wraith Pact, and he's even queuing up a Mage Slayer. So really cute approach. Because it's a Pudge,
through this?
Pudge and Lesh, right? Completely reliant on that magical damage. So if he just gets an Anchor Smash, if he gets that Mage Slayer applied on them, how are they going to be able to bring down the targets? Especially that Naga Siren, who's gonna have this heart pretty soon.
Each passing moment here, each minute, Tundra is getting further and further ahead. Very much feeling the control they have on the game this early on as well. 22 minutes in, 8K lead.
Yep. And they even have, you know, 9. Oh, we got the Orchid coming out.
We'll be lucky to find an illusion rune.
He'll be all right. And yeah, they also have 9, who's going to be going for his standard Tusk build. He's going to be that straight physical damage burst also. So they have kind of everything going for them here to be able to take down Focus Fire the Pudge, Focus Fire the Lash, reduce their damage, and take objectives. That's the other big thing too. It's going to allow them to get Roche a little bit easier and push those towers.
It really very much is a case of, you know, even through that Bloodstone heal, Tundra, they will kill Nisha so quickly. The Secret's response, it has to be immediate with their sort of counter initiations in terms of the black holes and such.
I mean, it's 22 minutes and there's only 2 Flesh Heap stacks. Never a position you want to be on the Pudge. But Chrysalis, he's got Ags done. Let's see what he's going to be able to do with this.
So around the mid there. Looking towards 33. This is not an easy kill.
He's very tanky.
Very tanky. And
oh my god, okay. There we go.
I mean, they have to. I don't think they're getting that kill if they don't then.
They got it before he drops the pipe, before he drops the Wraith Pact. So sure, I mean, getting him off the map is
That's the only way they kill him.
Yeah.
They've got to do it quick, they've got to do it safe, they've got to use the black hole in situations like that. I'll take him off the map, and it will at least sort of give them a bit of peace here, maybe for the 30 seconds. Knowing that Tundra, they won't have the tide for the fight, but nonetheless, though, Tundra, they're still that farmed that they'll definitely still go for a quick kill.
Bottom.
Tide or not.
More than enough damage, probably. There it is. And some Deso stacks for 9.
See Lotus now done as well for Nisha, so a little bit of an extra way that he can try and prepare himself for the fight. Give him a bit of a better shot of not being blown up. Some of the targeted abilities from Tundra.
Yep, be able to protect him. Also, if there's like a snowball, he can even get inside the snowball if they play it a little bit perfectly. He can also dispel the boomerang buff, or debuff that is, which amplifies all that damage. Nisha?
This bottom tier 2 is so scary, surely. Here for Secret, unless they can ensure that Tundra put off from diving, and they will manage to get back. Chrysalis, he hits the hook. Grabs back 9 before Skeeter's able to do anything to save him. And sort of frees the rest of Secret there with the song. A good catch onto 9 there. Secret coming in with some level of response now to the moves from Tundra. It's definitely not as smooth sailing as it has been for the last 10 minutes. Secret able to slow them down a little bit by bit.
Yep, and now they have the blink on the Tiny. So an actual initiator rather than just forcing Rezo to be that one to jump in with Black Hole. Getting themselves back on the map. Every time they do kill one of those heroes, it feels pretty massissive, at least for Secret, but Tundra doesn't seem like they care too much.
I mean, it's just the Naga Siren, right? You know, Skeeter, he doesn't care if he sees a hero or a teammate die every now and then, wants a minute just one off on their own. As long as he's still hitting the creeps, he is happy. Top of the net worth, and indeed with his heart, you can see Skeeter. Him and his illusions, it's not going to be easy to deal with. Sort of the main way to deal with it in terms of the Pudge and the Leshrac. We know that Tundra, they can kill these heroes. As underneath the tier 2 mid, they're looking towards Chrysalis. Skeeter, he's ready to commit in. As they go right in on top of him. Nisha will turn up for the fight, but not able to make any sort of move in time to save, and Chrysalis goes down. And you see 33, he's ready to just waltz right underneath the tier 2 as well. Sides will jump over the toss back.
Chain Frost.
They are getting 9 pretty low. He's able to get the snowball off in time. Ravage there for 33 ensures the 9's got the space to step back. As Zayats will fall. The bushwhack from Saxa finishing him off. Secret trying their best to deal with this team fight. These dives, this aggression that Tundra is performing. Most times, 9 out of 10, they're not able to deal with it. No. They're not able to stop them from getting what they want. Tundra, they'll push down mids, take down this tier 2. Everything continues to just being ticked off the list here for Tundra.
This Skeeter Naga is just way too farmed, really, for them. Once he shows up to the fight, they're like, oh my god, we do not have enough damage to go through 3,000 HP. It's going to take them quite a while, and it's into Wraith Pack, and it's into Pipe, and also we saw our beautiful observer point out an extra cloak purchased up. He is going to be going back for the Mage Slayer, as we mentioned. He was queuing up Blink for a moment, but yeah, just really looking for all that damage mitigation, making sure that Skeeter will probably never go down unless he gets caught by absolutely everything. So for Secret, next few moments, pretty difficult for them to look for these fights. Multiple Blink daggers. You see even Puppey gets a Blink. They need any type of follow-up. They need the big burst, right? If they catch 1 or 2 heroes in a black hole, they need absolutely everything thrown on.
That's a lot of weight on Resolution.
It is.
He's got to do something incredible. We get the toss back here on a Snake King, but Puppey's low. Rezo's going to use the black hole.
It's only on one.
Catches Snake King though, and the song's out. Tundra, they're able to reset the team fight. Puppey goes down. Zayat's also to fall, as they'll lose Snake King, but they get 2. Once again, Tundra just proving at this stage to be almost impossible for Secret to fight into.
Tough position to use Black Hole. Pre-BKB, even to all these stuns, into Song.
I mean, he must be close to the BKB, right, Rezo?
Getting closer. I mean, he bought the
Rezo
shard,
be
he
away.
bought the lens, so he has delayed it quite some time for
Radiant's
himself.
bottom tower is under
And Tundra
attack.
now, they probably are like, okay, well, no Black Hole. We can probably look for Roshan.
Straight to Roshan, indeed. They know that there's going to be no chance of Secret heading out to this area of the map.
And they kill it fast. With Riptide, with Deso, with Gush. See all that minus armor coming into play on top of the Orchid. Secret, they are reacting though, bringing 4 heroes. Scan is going to catch them.
Radiant's top tower is under
See if they can get any sort of fight going here. It's not easy. There's no black hole to rely on. They're still dead. Straight into the fight with Chris as he walks forward. Snowball's going to be there for now. Gets them over towards Nisha. They're trying to step back though. Nisha getting off a good amount of damage this
Nisha.
time. See the sharpshooter comes in, takes down Zayas. Chris is trying to stand his ground with the dismember. They're forced 9 back to safety. Roshan falling low. Chrysalis also having to back away as 33. He's trying to finish off the Roche. Puppey and Nisha, they're stepping into the pin as well, but 9 heads in Snowball. They get the Ravage off the same time. Rezo tries to jump in to steal the Aegis, but 9 only picks it up. 3 dead on Secret. They'll take the Aegis quickly out the hands of 9. But Secret, they're getting chased back away from the pit. Very much felt like a bit of a last-ditch attempt there from Secret to try and stop Tundra, but they couldn't take the fight around the Roche pit. It's 4 dead, 9 continuing to chase. We'll see Puppey able to blink out just in time. It's a good fortune that he has that item there.
I mean, it's wild how much damage is reduced there. In most situations, if there's not a pipe, if there's not
They
a
were
Wraith
so
Pack,
clumped up and they just still didn't
they still
die.
look how much they only. I'm saying only because when we've seen these Pudges on these Leshes, when they're able to stick on targets, 3 heroes inside that, you would probably see some 10,000 worth of damage or something. But look at this, the damage mitigation completely protecting everybody there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Secret,
attack.
they really had to go all in to make a move like this, and they certainly do. They go straight into the pit, and of course, having to try and fight. Rezo doesn't have his black hole back up.
Look at the micro too, right? The Wraith Pack. Look, he pops it and sends it up north to kind of hide it away from everybody. So Secret, they're panicking to try to kill this thing, and meanwhile, they're all just dropping lower and lower.
Yeah.
Great plays from 9. The Snowball initially to dodge the Chain Frost with his team, and then Snowball to kind of guarantee that they can get up that Roshan. Beautiful plays from Tundra. Masters of the team fight.
They are seeming unstoppable here so far in this game. 18k lead.
And it's also, you know, Ravage, it wasn't up until that exact moment
Nisha.
as well, too.
Stepping up in the mid, they've got the arrow connection. He's already used the Bloodstone here. Look at the Lotus Orb off in time. A little bit of safety in his own Snowball, but it's only going to tear him far away from the safety of any of his teammates as Nisha will get slowly but surely taken out. Puppey as well to fall. Zayat's caught out by the net. It's going to be 3 dead on Secret. We'll see how much further they want to play this one out. It is grand finals after all, but this game 1, it just looks like there's very few answers at all to what Tundra's doing right here.
And it's versus that Lesh. They gave the Lesh. They had an idea, they had a concept, and it's working beautifully.
Radiant structures.
Full control of the game.
I mean, 33. As it, you know, how we ended it at the end there. You know, talking about how important the Tide is, how good he is on this hero, and we're seeing it 4-1 and 15. Even without the Ravage, we see the effects he's able to do from start to finish of this game.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Of course, Tundra, we've seen many times before in the games that they play. When they have this sort of lead, they'll ever so careful not to allow any opportunity for it to slip away from them. So they'll back off from the push for now.
Interesting to point out also, Skeeter did buy the shard as well, so feels like they're really understanding this. Limit the damage. You know, this is going to heal for 40%. They're reducing the damage that's coming out from the Pudge and Lesh, so how are they going to kill these big beefy targets,
They
right?
have to catch them split up. But as we've seen, it's very few situations where Tundra, especially at this moment of the game, they choose to sort of fall back into positions that allow them to get caught one by one.
Always playing around each other perfectly. Hook.
Trying to get a rest 33, but he has got the Ravage. Will pop it, and now there's the jump forward. 9 just straight in, takes him out. Rezo, he has got the black hole off onto the two of them, but do they have the damage? Chain Frost out, the BKB is already out from 9 and Skeeter. It was a nice two-man black hole, but there wasn't any follow-up, and now Tundra, it looks like once again, they're setting up for the cleanup. They've got the catch on Tanisha. Bushwhack will trap him against the tree. The arrow for Snake, it keeps him locked down. He'll try and step back, but Tundra, the 4-5 of them, chase him down. He'll go for the TP out. He won't break it. Everybody dead on Secret. Tundra, they're ready to resume pushing down the mid.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Just
attack.
seems like they're just way, I mean, this time they're way too far ahead, but they're always just, like you mentioned, everyone's always playing around each other. This time, Ravage is at the ready. 33 not even coming close to dying. And now they're all full health because Skeeter pops a song and heals them up as well. Tundra.
Radiant's bottom tower
We'll see if they go for one more fight. But that one more fight for Secret, once again, will be lacking the big ultimates. Black hole, of course, used by Rezo there in an attempt to get something going, but really with the BKBs that Tundra have, if they get it off beforehand, then there's absolutely no chance of Secret killing these cores.
top tower is under attack.
30k gold lead. I mean, full item for each hero pretty much coming out now.
This is just, it's not a position where we've really seen any teams be able to turn things around when they've been against Tundra in particular.
Especially
Tundra get this sort of lead against you, it very much is over, unless something incredible happens.
Especially when they have this Naga Siren, really. They look to be amazing. These illusion carries in particular for Skeeter, right? His CK, his Naga has been a pleasure to watch. In Secret, they tried to set that pace early game, but almost never in this game did they actually have a lead. The gold was always actually pretty much in favor of Tundra.
Tundra smoked up, and you can feel it. They're ready to go for the finisher here.
Puppey, blinking in.
All right, walk it down mid.
Trying to catch the creep wave or something.
Trying to get some sort of a distraction, you know, take Tundra away from the push.
But the
buying
waves,
some time.
the waves are all in though.
See bottom there, Nisha. Might be in a bit of trouble once again. We'll see Puppey coming with the buyback, but that sharp shot there from Saxon nearly finishing him off. They'll go with the snowball over towards Crystallis. Chain Frost comes out from Puppey. Crystallis commits it with the BKB onto 33, but 33 is just so
There's no damage.
He barely cares at all that this Pudge is on top of him. Another hook from Crystallis will catch on, but 33...
Oopsie.
It wasn't the cleanest combo, but at this point, Tundra, they don't even need to hit these combos. They'll just back off and reset. Not the Ravage into Song that, you know, will sort of blow away Secret, but they can afford to mess that up sometimes. They got a 32k lead.
Yeah, they're like, we don't need it. It's fine, you know? Do have to watch out, though, as we see Black Hole back up in 10 seconds. It's going to have to be a 5-man. Even then, I don't know. Doesn't even feel like they'll have the damage anyway.
It's got to be a 5-man, and it's got to catch them before they press BKB.
Yeah. And before Wraith Pact or Piper down.
We'll find 9 in the trees. He gets the BKB off before the dismembers there. Saxon able to poke in from the side.
He's fighting.
Bushwhack. Crystallis, he's getting low. 9 tries to chase him out. Crystallis gets taken down. 9 caught by the fear. See at the side though, they're focusing down Nisha. Nisha goes down. 4 stars to the side. 9 caught by the avalanche. They will go down. Secret able to find some sort of semblance of a trade there. They'll take out 9 immediately. Nisha does commit in with the buyback. I'll see if there's anything Secret can do here with this minute where Tundra are without their mid laner.
Nisha can never walk up. He just walks in, gets fully focused from everyone on Tundra. And another item coming up for Skeeter in a moment.
My goodness.
More heal prevention, more damage reduction, etc. Scotty's going to be coming out also for this Naga.
Extra illusion as well with the level 20.
Yeah.
And illusion rune found us on top of that also. I expect us to continue to just see all 3 lanes push right up to the base of Secret. If Secret are going to try and find that, what needs to be an immaculate team fight, 5-man Black Hole, it's just going to be so hard for them to do it anywhere outside of the base. Leaving this area of the map, leaving the, you know, the some sort of safety of the high ground, it's just so tough against what Tundra's doing on the map right now.
Tundra's on cruise control. Look, Snaking's even got boots to travel on the 5 Marana.
Nice.
They don't know what to do, bro. Come on, relax, bro.
Okay, keep holding, guys.
Guys,
I got
kill
big
good
I got big Oh.
Well, there we go, very much. Because he's Secret, I think they know that this is a spot game 1 that's tough, but there's a long series ahead of them, so
They're staying
making sure to
positive.
keep things light, keep things positive, and very much still continuing it to give it their all. Smokes up here, Zayat some resolution.
I think most people find it, you know, you hear Puppy like kind of laughing in these type of games, and you're like, oh, okay, whew. A heart now for 33.
This is a scary place of resolution and Zayat. Very close by to Tundra.
And
in the trees.
Everyone on Tundra is just so farmed at this point. Pretty much every single hero at core.
Zayat. So hard to get
I'll get over it.
any grab, any toss back.
Oh yeah, Snake King's got bots, Lotus, Force Staff, Drum.
I mean,
It is a
massive.
5-position Mirana, by the way.
We've seen some farm supports today. This one's
attack.
certainly up there from Snake King.
Tundra just tend to do this a lot of times too, right? Distribute their wealth nicely, especially, I mean, at this point in this game, of course, when they have all the space in the world, but...
Can they see 33, but
He's got
not an easy
4,000
job. They're
health.
gonna try. They'll get the toss back. It's just, it feels so
does
rough to try
nothing.
and commit onto this tide.
He just Mage Slayer hits them and they do nothing.
They've got to back off. 33's toying with the idea of a Ravage as well. Nisha really getting caught out by the bushwhack. Will get jumped by 9. He's in with the Walrus Punch. A Secret just scrambling back up towards the high ground. And I tell you what, I think they're quite lucky to get out of there with nobody going down.
They can't even, I mean, they tickle the tide. This build really from 33 is working perfectly. I mean,
it's unkillable.
The Pipe Wraith Pack we've seen so many times, but just throwing in this Mage Slayer because he sees that both cores have this magic damage emphasis.
6-1 and 21, exactly what you hope to see from your off lane.
4-1-15 on
Roshan
Skeeter.
should be another one here for Tundra. Again, these illusions from Skeeter making sure that Secret, they cannot even dream of getting anywhere close to the Roshan.
Every lane pushed in. Puppy, up for a journey, trying to maybe collect some bounty runes. Blinks will be okay, Snake King won't find him. But the Roche Pyre, 40k gold lead, back to business.
Absolutely just passing by the sort of 1k gold a minute, something that you very rarely see in terms of a lead in at this stage of the game. Pretty much a full nullifier done as well from 9. Even tougher to try and protect that core that gets jumped upon by 9.
They're looking to go to, they're smoked. So many of these heroes just get immediately burst down, especially Puppy.
With that Aegis, Tundra know that they can look to get into the
Look at
face of Secret.
33's taking the tower by himself. He's just anchor smashing it.
Yeah.
He's got the talent.
Chrysalis trying for some sort of a hook.
They can't stop him.
I mean, we'll see Zayat. She's looking for a toss back. A 9 in response immediately on top of it. That's Zayat's gone. No buyback for him.
Chrysalis.
He'll pop the BKB. He's got to use it to step back, get some sort of distance between him and the rest of the team. He's going to try and stand his ground on 33 on 9. Jumps in with the Warriors Punch into the snowball. Over towards Isha Rezo. He's going to go for the black hole. The song is there.
It's healing him.
I mean, the black hole and damage alone, not enough to take him out through the BKB. Rezo's out. Does have a buyback, but even if he opts to do so, won't have a black hole to use. Tundra, they'll continue this push up towards the top lane. Taking down this set of barracks. A Secret, we'll see if they go for one last move. Maybe hope that Tundra gets a bit close to the fountain, but Tundra, they don't mess around. They're not making any mistake. 33 pops the Ravage, catches out Nisha and Chrysalis. Chrysalis getting low. He might just be able to reset this time as he is over towards the fountain, actually able to lift Nisha. Also able to keep himself alive for now with the Lotus. Reflects the net, but 33 is getting in on top of him. No one else able to get Nisha away from Tundra. He's out for 100 seconds. The tier 4s are gone. They're on to the Ancient. GG is called. And Tundra, they take this game 1, and my goodness, they take this game 1. This was not close. Tundra in full, complete control. I mean, it felt like after 10 minutes, Secret, they didn't have a chance at all in this one, Fog.
It felt like even from lanes, right? The rotations from Saksa kind of putting on this pressure onto Nisha. This was a miraculous game, really, from Tundra, kind of setting the tempo super early on with the Naga Siren draft. When you're able to kind of get this type of lead early on, and you have a Naga, and you start realizing, hey, we're versus only magic damage, my Tide can just completely counteract it, you know?
Absolutely.
It's an excellent approach.
And I think what's going to feel really good for them is indeed it paid off. You know, as Aoi said, they wanted to try this game 1, let the Lesh go through. They dealt with it, and they dealt with it phenomenally. There was no question about it. It was never going to be any sort of issue after a certain point, as Tundra looked terrifyingly good here in this game 1 of the Grand Finals. Back over to you guys on the panel.
Thank you very much, Odie, Pixel, and Fox. Yes,
Tundra executing psychological warfare here in game one. They let the Lesh through and they destroy it, and you saw Secret just walking off. That felt a little bit heads low. This is probably one of the most devastating first matches we've had at the Grand Finals at International.
And it looked really good at the start, in some ways.
I mean, they had 5 heroes.
Like, they did have 5 heroes. I mean, one of the plays that I was most excited for that game was when they came mid and ganked, and they managed to kill 9 on his Tusk. And in anticipation of his respawn, they thought he's going to move somewhere. So they smoked Zayat and Nisha to top lane, where they then do a counter gank on 9's respawn TP. And that was like, I was like, that's so cool. Like, they're really shutting down 9's Tusk this game. Like, Nisha's just following him around the map.
I don't know, I feel like, James, you're completely on point. This game is just devastating.
Bro, come on.
You're picking... You've been
Trust me, I've been in games like this, not at the International, but this is
similar.
a lot of what my MMR matches look like, and yeah, but, you know, I still play more.
Cheap, Tigal, they've been given Lesh, they've been given Pudge, and this Naga is still not counterable. In the last series, they've been given Magnus, Monkey King. Like, you've been given these Empower heroes. Ember, I believe, was in that one as well. Like, you have just so much AoE damage to deal with these illusions. It just does not work. Lesh, however, they proved it here, right, T? It can be countered.
It can be countered, and I think right now for Secret, after this first game, it's identifying the fact that Tundra, they are this team that when they get into an aggressive position, they're going to hold it against you. Like this lineup from Secret, if you get out ahead in the laning phase, sure, you have the AoE damage from a Pudge and a Lesh, right? You can deal with the Naga Siren. But when you lose your early game, and Tundra is the best team in the world at just choking out, playing aggressive, not allowing you to cross the river, make any plays, and on top of that, 33, I know we've kind of touched on it lightly, his itemization, he's identified the fact that if he gets a pipe, a Wraith Pack, even a Mage Slayer, I think Knoxville tweeted that it's like the 5th time a Tidehunter has ever picked up Mage Slayer on this hero, like he can just stand up front. So now it's Secret, if they ever find the Tide, you can't kill him. If you then find anyone else, you're going to get a Naga song. Like, it was just exceptional gameplay from them. But yeah, I think the Leshrac is the key story right now for this one.
Well, I think we need to know more about Leshrac, T.
Oh, yay.
Because will we see it again?
Oh, I mean,
tell us more.
Oh, tell us more. Well, of course. So Team Secret coming into this tournament, or at least into the playoffs, they'd beaten PSG, twice in a row with the Leshrac. They had beaten Thunder Awaken twice in a row with the Leshrac. They were one of the best Leshrac teams in the tournament, but this game here is the first loss for Nisha on Leshrac, going now 4-1. Don't forget Tundra, they've not played any Leshrac at TI so far. They've not even touched it. They played it 6 months ago. So for Tundra to come into this Grand Finals, to give Secret one of their best heroes, beat them with it, potentially Tundra, it could slip into their hero pool throughout this Grand Finals.
Isn't there another team at TI?
It's quite a few.
That didn't play Lesh?
Yeah,
back in the day.
Back in the day, CDEC, they did not play Leshrac, and it cost them a TI win. It was pretty devastating, but looks like it's going to be the complete opposite story here.
It was also a very broken hero back in the day.
Yeah.
And it still is quite a broken hero. And luckily, 9 has played some Leshrac this week. He played 3 pub games on it. So this strategy from Tundra, give Secret Leshrac, beat them with the Leshrac, never play it at all. It could set up for some mind games going into game 2, maybe game 3, that Tundra surprises Secret with a, haha, we actually do play it type strategy. But maybe I'm kind of getting carried away there.
Well, it didn't work out in game 1. But do you think, Tundra, we talked about their map control. You know, they had really good vision. They strangle at the map. But one of the other things is this a counter to Leshrac as well, the fact that every single person you want to kill is just so hard, and they have backup. Because you don't want to be chasing a Mirana. Hoodwink, you know, gets into the tree line. You don't want to open up on the Tide. So it seems like they're not only masters of the map, they're really masters of control. And Leshrac needs to go deep into the fights. And so what do you do? Get a blink?
Yeah, like Lich. Lich got himself a blink. Why not Lesh as well? Like, blink on Leshrac is actually not that bad. It can happen later on in the game. They had different problems, though. Like, the initiation needed to happen after Ravage, post-Ravage. That puts a lot of pressure on Rezo. Like, you could see so many black holes that are targeted. Well, he catches a couple of heroes, but those heroes already pop the BKBs because he cannot wait. He knows that if he waits, the Ravage is there, his teammates are already dying. Leshrac, so many times he goes in, and he's the sole hero that's hitting the Raid Pact.
Tough, tough. But of course, Team Secret will take a moment backstage. They're going to have a little bit of time to kind of regroup and pick up their heads. But we did hear from Team Secret earlier as Avo sat down with them before the Grand Finals.
Welcome, Team Secret, to the round table. Are you guys ready for the grand final?
I'm ready.
Nisha was the first one that answered. It's good, you know. Like, why everybody looking at me for?
Let's get started with the actual questions. A lot of teams, they talk about how losing makes them stronger because they get to learn about their weaknesses, you know, when a team figures them out. Are you guys worried that they can just figure you out at the right moment and then it'll be too late to learn from it?
Yeah, Nish.
Yes.
I'm worried. I'm actually worried. I mean, in Secret, if you lose with one hero, you're not picking it again. That's the law. So it might be off.
Come on.
Don't
ruin the hero.
Removed from the pool.
Do you feel like the underdog to a degree?
We are underdogs. Okay. There's no question about it.
Okay. Let's talk about the addition of Rezo to the team. You guys have been playing together as a duo for a while, haven't you?
Since the VP times, yeah. We were together in VP, we were together in Hellraisers, now here.
Raise some hell.
Is it true that you guys were like marketing yourself as a duo when you guys were both looking for a team? Like you were looking to lane together?
Yeah, I literally made that tweet that the best duo offlane was looking for a team.
And it worked?
Not a single request was from that tweet. Nobody reached out. They're like, yeah, whatever. Who are these guys? I mean, I think it's both the view on the game that we're sharing and outside of the game. Like we share a lot of life understanding, you know, some certain things, and it's like very easy to talk to. So it just kind of like was a very obvious way for us to go from that point on.
Is it true that you guys speak Russian to each other in the lane during the game?
Yes, it is true.
So the half the team speaks English to each other and the other half speaks Russian?
Yeah, it's just the laning. Yeah.
Oh, just the laning.
But like sometimes we are switching lanes, so I'm laning with the Clement and we like kind of break the rules, you know?
And I'm playing with Remco and speaking English also.
Yeah.
So when you do things, you do what's comfortable, right? It doesn't bother us that they're speaking Russian. To be fair, it's even like a benefit, because we can zone out of it.
Yeah.
Not me, I actually hear it. But like for Remco's sake and stuff like that, like he doesn't even like hear anything what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, he also has problems.
Well.
He also understands what's going on, kind of.
He's not hearing anybody.
So to be fair, only Remco doesn't understand what's going on. We're all here, and we kind of get it. You know?
Let's talk about Chrysalis as well. Remco, yeah?
Remco, yeah.
Yeah. You guys have both previously stated how he's a wild stallion, and you had to break him a little bit in the beginning.
Wild stallion, what?
I think
I had no idea.
Okay, not that kind of wild stallion. He's his own person, Puppy. You talked about that.
Yeah,
yes. Sorry, maybe I went a little bit too poetic.
At Riyadh or?
Yeah, it was a Riyadh.
That one. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, how's the relationship evolved going towards TI?
No, I mean, it's still the same. I don't think much has changed at all. It's just still a bit of goofing. We clicked. It just kind of works. Yeah. I'm usually a bit more of a clown, I guess, at times. Well, you know, whatever.
I mean, I could tell you a billion Remco stories. I could tell you a billion Remco stories.
What does it mean to you to be able to play in the grand finals?
I get a chance to fulfill my dreams and my goals. To me, TI is always like a celebration. Like I just completely enjoy all my days here, like including the finals or not. You know, I'm just happy to be playing the high level of Dota.
Puppy, you've been to 3 TI grand finals. What advice would you give your fellow teammates?
My advice has always been there every day, and it doesn't matter if you're playing first match of TI or last match of TI. It's the same thing, you know?
Just play the game of Dota that you're playing for how many, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever. But just play the game and do your best and be in the moment, be in the present moment. Just give it your best.
Are you excited to play in front of a crowd? Does it add to the experience to you?
When they start chanting like some names of the team, usually the enemy team, it's fun. It gets better, you know?
The enemy team. Please, crowd cheer for Nisha.
It gives me energy, you know? To, you know, prove them wrong, kind of.
Okay.
But it's fun, I guess, yeah.
Crowds are awesome. And especially if they do some awesome things in there, like, I don't know, remember like that Enigma doing the black hole that was happening in Benaroya Hall back in, I don't know, 2nd TI, I think. The crowd brings a lot of good energy.
You always feel it, like, you know, even if you're completely zoned in the game, you still feel the, I don't know, sounds, even like vibrations on the ground and stuff. You know, all of the people are watching, and not only on stream, like, you know, thousands on stream, but here, literally here. And it's a very different experience.
I like to enjoy crowd because I like to scream at enemies when I'm killing them. Because after the scream, I can, cool down. It's much easier. That's why I like crowd, because they're screaming, I'm like, oh, hello, and we go next.
Thank you, Team Secret, for talking to me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
You're welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Let's go.
That's the way to go.
Welcome back to the panel. Yes, I was a bit concerned for Secret coming off of game one, of course, and how they kind of looked, but actually kind of seeing that video feel really wholesome. I think like this is a team that actually get on so well and could definitely come back. And the talks of the crowd being amazing and how Zayat wants them, and Singapore has been amazing this tournament. But any takeaways from the interview?
We heard more words from Nisha in that one interview than we did in the entirety of the DPC season. So I think that was the best content piece that I've watched from Secret.
I know, right? Doing my research for TI, I was just like, Nisha. There's nothing. Moving on.
What was his comment? It was in Secret, if we lose with a hero, we don't pick it again.
Yeah.
So that whole Leshrac piece that we did earlier, you can just ignore this kind of Leshrac
That's also
piece.
very interesting because that's not usually how Secret was, how Puppy is. Like, if you remember back in the day, he was known as that stubborn captain. If he picks a hero, he's going to stick with it no matter what, if he thinks that it's...
Yeah, and I remember actually talking to Dendi, and he was like, I play what Puppy tells me to. You know, even if I don't think, you know, it's okay, Puppy says, I have to do. But let's check in as we wait for the second game to get ready. Let's check into the arena with Slacks.
Yes, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. We are still here in the crowd for Grand Finals Day. We still awake, crowd? Oh, fantastic. Now, I do have a very rare opportunity. These were the first things that sold out at the Secret shop. These are the trap... Oh, my God, don't show that. Valve promos. Very rare. We're going to give these away in a little trivia contest. Now, people get a little nervous in front of the camera, so we're going to do what I like to call crowd trivia. It's basically trivia for Dumbos. Now, I'm not going to say that, but all right, anyway, very easy trivia. Anybody in here a large? A large? Anybody a large? All right. Hello, sir. What is your name?
Tom.
Tom. What's your gamer tag?
My gamer tag?
Yeah.
It's on his shirt. Here we go.
That's Papa Virgin.
Call me Papa.
All right, well, that ain't changing anytime soon. Trivia question for you, my friend. All right. This is very hard. What team is Heen associated with?
Oh, God. That's a tough one.
Don't you? What?
Secret.
Secret! That's right, Team Secret! Ah, there you go. One loud shirt. There you go. We got a medium. Now, this man helped me corral some fans earlier, so get your butt over here. This is practice content. All right, this is tough. How do you spell Leshrac?
Leshrac.
I actually don't know how to spell Leshrac, so here you go. Enjoy. Thank you. All right, small. Hello, sir. You look trustworthy. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good.
Fantastic. All right, sir. I haven't really thought of a question. Okay. Who's your favorite caster, OD or Fog? Now, there is a correct answer. They're right there next to us. OD or Fog?
There's only one, sir. Fog.
Wow, that's great. Unfortunately, incorrect, though. So we'll have to go to another. No, just kidding. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And everybody here, by the way, these are the primo seats, right behind the casters, right when everybody walks out. These were the guys that came in first. So give it up! And yes, we're still quite awake over here, so we'll pass it back to you guys. Keep doing your panel thing, all right? You guys give it up.
Thank you, Slacks, as he rejoins the crowd to cause more carnage. Have you seen OD Pixel Cast, by the way? It's one of the best things, because those are the primo seats, as Slacks called it, but he is so animated, and Fog just kind of stands there.
It's all the hand movements. It's really feeling and like part of the game.
It's really good that they're standing behind OD. If it was Cap, someone might get wet as well, you know.
That's true.
This could happen. Yes, so we're going to be getting the players out for game number 2, Secret versus Tundra. And still, the storyline is Tundra dominating game 1. And Sheeps to kind of talk about, you know, really how they put down not only just their opponents, but put down the lock on the map. What were they doing, Tundra?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I really liked how they utilized their Fat Tide. They brought him away from the bot lane when around 14 minutes when he finished his Wraith Pact and used his Ravage to kill the Leshrac. And this opened up the mid tower for them. And they were able to get a deep ward in the enemy's triangle during this move, which is like, it's very valuable because then they move into the bot side of the map and they know how much they can poke and dive this tier 2 tower given the information they're getting from their vision. And by combining this with having 2 high damage supports in the Mirana and Hoodwink, it meant that they were able to assassinate and kill people without even the help of their cores. So they're just constantly applying pressure and kill threat to Secret all the time.
That pressure is constantly enabled by the Naga as well. Those pesky illusions like Rezo, that wasn't a game for him. Why? Because there's always one pesky illusion following him around, breaking his blink dagger, hitting him. Like, by the time he gets rid of the illusion, the team fight is already kinda over. And Mirana plus Naga, like this combo, it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, the position 5 Mirana, it's only Tundra doing it, and it's the fact that in all of their drafts as well, they've got the Brood or a Spirit Breaker, the Enigma, like they've always got an element of just map pressure that other teams haven't been able to kind of replicate in their games. And yeah, this is why Secret in this gap, or this break at least from game 1, they need to identify how do we want to prevent Tundra having that map pressure.
Well, we'll have to see as we're going to be getting ready for game 2. As you can see, the teams have now joined us on stage. And of course, we talked a little bit about Tundra, just how they're locking down the map. It really seems like they figured their opponent out, at least in terms of game 1. And actually, we're going to hear from Tundra about their opponents, Team Secret.
I think Team Secret is a very formidable opponent because I think they've defined their roles for each other very well. And they know exactly what to expect from each other. I mean, obviously, they have Puppy. So like it kind of goes without saying, honestly. It doesn't need to be explained. And by this point, it's also for Nisha as well. It's just such an amazing player. If you were just to think of each of their player, not even looking at any particular game, you kind of have an idea of what each hero will play. Nisha will generally play like a very high damage hero, and then Crystallis will either be some sort of utility or counter pick for the lane, and same thing with the Resolution. They know their lane matchups very well. It's like they play these stupid combos that you feel like the lane shouldn't be strong, but then they know something about it a bit more than you do, or like the synergy is a bit better, that they manage to win these lanes, and like suddenly like they have very good synergy in the game.
The last time we played them in a group stage where we 2-0'd them, I think they messed up their drafts in both of their games, so I don't think we actually got to play the real Secret.
Like going into this match against them, I think we are kind of on even grounds. Like both of us have kind of, since that match, both of us have kind of gone through a win streak. Yeah, I think we are on even footing, and just excited to see how the game will play out.
Really interesting there that Tundra, despite, I feel, a lot of fan favorites, people, I would say pros favorites actually. I would say maybe Secret could be fan favorites, but Tundra could be the pros favorites because we heard from Seb and Notel earlier, and they kind of picked Tundra to go forward, but they're actually saying in the interview there that they feel that they're on even ground.
They're just being humble, you know. Dota Pro players, like very rarely do you hear someone say, yeah, I'm gonna own you, I'm much better. Like we have a couple of those, but not too many. However, Tundra, I believe they shouldn't be as humble. The way that they're playing, it's magical.
Well, you've heard from us, and soon we'll hear from the casters, because we're ready to go into game number 2 of the Grand Finals.
Secret's turn to ban.
Team Secret versus Tundra Esports. Grand Finals, Game 2.
Seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, James. And yes, we're absolutely ready here in Singapore for Game 2 between Secret and Tundra. Once again, joined by Seb, Notel, and Fox here for the draft. I mean, first off, boys, that Game 1, a pretty severe stomp, for the most part there from Tundra. What would you say you sort of put that down to overall, and what do you expect to see changed coming into maybe this Game 2 draft? Because it's Secret, we've seen from them, they've got so much more to offer than this.
Tundra has a system, and I think, like, I'm going to try to break it down quickly before the draft develops too much, but it's about the map. It's about Neta pressuring one side of the map with his heroes, the Wraith Pact Tide, the Visage, the Brood, the Beastmasters, and Skitter doing the same thing on the other side of the map. He does not leave his jungle, he does not leave the safe lane for as long as he can, and he collects information. And only certain heroes can do that. Naga, one of the best in the game. Slark, Nighttime, Night Vision, really hard to go on this hero also. Nakes with Rage in a good life stealer game. And then the three other heroes are very fast-paced heroes. You know, the Miranas, the Tinies, the Tuskars, the Pangoliers that are gonna strike kind of left and right on the map depending on the enemy's movement. And that's how they kind of win the economy game, hit timings, and then close the game. So I think you really have to respect that and either, you know, hurt their system or, you know, find a way to counter it. I hope that Secret will adapt and really try to counter what Tundra does on the map a little bit more that game, so that they get an even footing, because they're great players too, and they can definitely beat them if on fair ground.
Absolutely. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This game 2 draft off to a start, and no surprises so far.
I mean, I think it's a lot about the second phase bans. They do choose, I mean, the first phase, they could have chosen to go against either the Brood or the Doom. I also agree with Seth that you could probably, I mean, sooner rather than later, choose to change your target a bit. I think skitter heroes are very important for them. I mean, this Slark, this Ursa, the CK, I don't think does nearly the same that a Naga does. Naga has been, I mean, the Naga games that they've had, it seems unstoppable. It seems like it's not fun to play against. And it's not like they first phased it, but I think the second phase bans were very wasted in all the games, more or less, that they played each other. And I think, yeah, they have to find the right ones.
Like, bit of pivot this time from Tundra, right? No Mirana, but they do get given the Marcy and the Visage. I mean, this combo is absurd. Side-kicked birds even later on. The lane is also ridiculous. And they have a lot of different combos. I've seen Tundra do stuff like this where you're now forced to maybe ban some heroes you don't want to. I've seen them do like this Luna Visage even at times that can sometimes just, yeah, you have to waste a ban because you just don't want to play versus something like that.
It's very strong, and Marcy's also deny pick, right? I think Marcy is one of the heroes that Tundra refuses to play against when it comes to Secret's playbook because they're so good at using it on lanes. I feel like Secret has one tool that can really cripple Tundra. It's the laning phase. They're very strong in the lanes. They execute. I mean, Neta even talked about it in the interview where he said that they respect a lot their laning and how much they're willing to push these lanes. And Marcy's one of the best heroes for that. So I think obviously Tundra would have been happy with the Mirana first phase, but they're like, yeah, we're gonna take the Marcy away.
I feel it's almost a shame. Like we saw the Monkey versus the Broodmother in one of the games. Like they completely annihilated like the laning phase in that game. I think it was all 3 lanes that were going super well for them. And I want to say they could have done the same, you know, like don't waste a ban on the Broodmother, get your Dawnbreaker, stay within your comfort, like get the Monkey. I mean, the Monkey's banned, so it might have something to do with it.
So we're back to the Tundra system, you know, you're gonna have, you have to see how it's gonna develop. This Visage, gonna buy Wraith back, he's gonna take the tier 1 tower, he's gonna live in Secret Jungle, and the Marcy plus the 9 hero and the other support are gonna be missing. They're gonna be in the Fog of War. And they're gonna make Secret, you know, think twice about shoving this Visage away from his area. And on the other side of the map, you're gonna have Skitter doing the same thing with a Wraith King, or, you know, he probably would have loved the Naga, no, Naga's out. And I really want Secret to try to target these heroes that can achieve that map dominance and force him into a more casual Ursa game, or, you know, these heroes that really cannot apply as much pressure on the map.
And also the Visage, I mean, that was the one they lost to, right? I also think it's now Tundra 1 game up. And it's the Mirana ban.
It's quite interesting, I think, the Nyx ban, because we haven't mentioned it in game 1, but Tundra lost to Secret where they had Nyx. And Nyx is one of the better heroes at disrupting map movement, right? At finding information himself or finding pickoffs and getting. And, you know, Tundra came into this grand final saying, you know what, actually this Nyx is more annoying than the king of your heroes that has been Leshrac so far. Yeah. So it kind of says a lot about what's going on, you know, Dota-wise.
I like that point a lot, too, because a lot of times you can see the Nyx and it's like, oh, he has, like, Carapace is excellent this game, there's all this, but it's actually the scouting, right? It's actually so much about getting the information.
Finding out if Neta is alone or if Skitter's alone, and, like, being able, to just get that quick pickoff.
And now we see, like, even, like, the Beastmaster ban, right? A similar thing they were talking about. It's controlling the map, trying to read things, so really interesting bans coming out from Tundra.
I like the Secret bans much more this time around the second phase, you know? Like, the first phase is something else, but they're committing to a certain strategy, but the Naga's out, the Mirana's out. The amount of map tools that they get are getting very, very limited already, much more than in game 1.
I want to see the Dawnbreaker come out for Secret. I mean, I think that would be a really strong pick. It can crush the Visage.
Yes. If you look at what Secret did there was a game when they had this next Dawnbreaker silencer, and I felt like it gives them really strong lanes, so they can kind of beat Tundra at that game. And if they transition into the mid game, they have these global tools that even if Tundra kind of pulls off this outmaneuvering on the map, you have these global tools that are gonna allow you to, you know, even it out. You get the global silence, you get the Dawnbreaker ulti, and I thought it was an interesting approach. Definitely heroes I would like to see Secret look at.
Yeah, and we also get Secret as second pick for the. I mean, they won't get the choice in game 3 and in game 5, but now we're going to be able to see how strong the second pick is going to be for them. I think the flex pick again from the Dawn, or finding a hero that can, you know, add this global presence, break this map, but still remain, like have some things remain flex, like the Leshrac Resolution can play it. and they can keep this till the end. But yeah, I think the second phase bans this time around much better from Secret.
Yeah. I like the Luna. That was when I was.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Like, I think
the
this
night
is thought
vision and
through.
everything.
I think the Mirana also, they would have gone for it for snaking. I think the Naga is a must ban for the rest of the series in second phase, unless they come up with the ultimate way to deal with it.
Yeah, Luna Visage, very strong combo. I mean, we've played Tundra in TI-10 qualifiers, and they were doing this Luna Manta night vision abuse. So it's definitely a hero that they can use a little bit like a Naga. You know, constantly sending the Manta illusions, shoving the waves, sending them also to scout, because Skitter is one of the players that not only farms with Manta, he actually uses it as a scouting tool to increase his map presence.
And as we were talking about with the Naga, like how he was using the illusions instead of just going camp to camp to camp. He's cutting the wave, even though it's not efficient. He's getting a little bit more info, especially during nighttime. I mean, they had full vision the whole night.
Yeah.
Sometimes even just suiciding illusions, just literally to get any type of information.
Yep.
And you know, theoretically there are two ways to deal with Tundras, like kind of split push style. The CK is one of the heroes that they really enjoy doing that with. Okay, they go for the Phoenix into Chen. It's a great Phoenix game.
When do they play the Phoenix? I want to say it's only with Visage they've played it.
I think I only saw them play it once, if even that. I don't even know if I saw them play it here.
They played it. I've seen Snaking play Phoenix once this tournament, I want to say. I'm pretty sure.
So basically, I think Secret, you have two approaches. When you play against this split push heavy kind of style, you either match what they want to do, or you know, group up and ball up and try to force them into a 5 versus 5 fight at a pace that they don't really want to get into. And I feel like Chen Lesh is a perfect lineup to push the issue before Tundra kind of gets online with their heroes. You know, think about the Leshrac Bloodstone and the mech timing. It's going to be very close. These heroes play together really well. Chen is going to bring a ton of armor and a ton of buffs on this Leshrac that are going to kind of help him live through the Tundra burst. And maybe they can just snowball the game, because usually Tundra don't really look at these early timings, and they hope that they get to, you know, get away with their map stuff like they did game 1.
If you force this Visage and the CK to fight before they get the shard on Visage and the BKB on CK, they might just run into, you know, Leshrac can easily solo kill them. The Phoenix pick, I thought he played this tournament, but I don't see it. I think this is his first Phoenix so far at TI, and it's a classic hero versus Tusk, it's a classic hero versus Chen, and it's super good with the Visage. So I mean, we've seen him play it before. I think it's very cool to see something, you know, be busted out of the finals. It also makes a statement.
We're seeing a very different approach from Secret this game.
Very different.
Remember Chen Bristol back? Remember some Chen Bristol?
Yep, that was
at TI9?
Yep. I think this is a statement. It's like, you know what, this map stuff that you're forcing us to deal with, you're gonna have to play our game now. And it's gonna be a game of Leshrac, Chen, Bristol grouping up, going for early objectives, maybe even going high ground early. And it's like, have you thought about that happening to you?
You think Kuro's watching?
Hopefully he is.
I think inner Kuro right now is like push the base, push the base.
It lets them set the tempo even better, because last game they kind of wanted to, but their heroes didn't, especially after lanes, like things just crumbled. This one, it's, like you mentioned. They're going to be able to force them into Roche, force them to fights around towers.
Counter the Visage as well, Bristol back, like both on the lane, but also in the game. I also think he doesn't care at all, the CK and the Phoenix early on. I mean, later on it starts changing a bit. I really like Secret's approach so far.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like, Dota theory-wise, they have a much better shot this game than the last one, in my opinion. And I feel like there's a lot of pressure on the 9 hero, because he needs to be the one buying time for how Skitter
he doesn't get last
33 pick. And he doesn't get last pick.
10 seconds.
He needs to enable his side laners this game.
So do you pick against the Lesh, or do you pick?
You
actually don't know.
You don't know.
Playing Lesh.
It could be Tusk Lesh. It's easy setup. I think it's quite laneable into the CK Phoenix, if it's going to be CK Phoenix, which I think it will be.
It's tricky. It's very tricky, actually.
Tundra's tended to not really prioritize, like, you know, counteracting like that matchup though, right? Like we've seen like Liquid's approach to the Lesh, they pick like the lean a lot of times. 9 usually just sticks with his style.
Well, but still, 9 has his counter picks. Like when he saw Secret pick Pangolier, he went for Lizard Man, I forget the name.
Primal Beast.
Primal Beast. And I think he will take his opportunity to counter pick when he can. Like he really wants, you know, when he saw the Lesh before, they picked the Tusk, knowing that most likely I can get this matchup, and that's the one he likes, you know. So now he has to pick blind, and I think Nisha might have an opening to really punish if he chooses.
Let's see what he's going to look at. I mean, we are getting a Puppy Chen in TI finals, which I think is very exciting, by the way. Like, I love it when both teams are getting their bread and butter, you know, because this is where you're going to get kind of the finest Dota out there.
Played Dota for 20 years, and you just pick your favorite hero, you know, the one you want to play.
Puppy Chen in TI finals. What else do you want to watch, you know?
That's what he also picked the Chen out. How many times versus Alliance?
Probably many times, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember the drafts for all 5 games.
10 years later, back at it. And what do they go for? Arc Warden. Okay, that is
Very
interesting.
That's quite the pick.
Yeah.
Quite different.
But look, I think Nisha's going to find something, don't you? I don't think he's going to accept the left track mid versus this. I think he's going to choose a hero versus the Arc Warden. What's left? I mean, Pangolier is out. Batrider got banned, so they were already setting up for it. Is this Nine's first Arc?
Arc Warden is very nice with the Tundra's heroes. It's very nice with their playstyle. It plays a lot like a Naga. It's a hero that's hard to deal with, that can open areas safely, get information. You know, it's an amazing pick for Tundra's lineup. It's good against Lash, but I feel like Secret's lineup is one of the lineup that can make an Arc very scary, right? Like very scared, I mean.
But this is not a typical 9 hero, like whatsoever. Like maybe it's similar a bit to the OD, who doesn't rotate very much, but almost every 9 hero likes to rotate. Like there's Zeus and there's some other ones. Okay, Morphling.
Morphling.
Yeah, here we go.
Morphling mid most likely into the Arc. Probably expected it to be a pretty good matchup. There it is, and it's going to be a Rezo Leshrac. And they're just kind of sacking this Leshrac a little bit. And because, yeah, it's a rough matchup. Leshrac mid against Arc is not fun by any means.
But last time he played it, he ended up with Blink, Bloodstone, Hex very early on in the game. And I think if he gets the same type of snowball or same type of game, I think it's going to look incredible. You close the gap versus the Arc. You don't care about the Visage. Like, you can also blow him up. I don't know. I like Secret's approach here. I really like it. And I think 9 might regret, you know, not having stayed for a more active hero. But let's see. I don't think anybody's going to help the Visage this game.
No, it's I mean, I feel Tundra's Dota. I think it's extremely powerful, but this is probably the first game, where I feel the most that they can be very challenged. Yeah, and they can be crippled. Yeah.
What do you sort of reckon, Fox? You know, Nisha Morph, it's popped off before. Is this a game where we can expect to see Nisha get to a level where he's going to be having the potential to 1v5 in these team fights?
He's got good scaling. They got good ways to force team fights. It looks pretty strong.
I mean, I've said it before also in the last game. I think they do want to keep the ball rolling, Secret, and if they don't, I mean, Tundra's going to run away with it again, and they're going to get to play the map, and it's going to be a very painful slow death for Secret. Yeah, I mean, I think the ball is in Secret's court. They really have to score.
Nisha Morph is incredible. Like, he's one of the best Morphs out there. He hasn't gotten to play it as much lately, but I think everybody that ever got to face his Morph still remembers. He is an incredible Morph player. He can make wonders in this game.
Let's have a look. We'll find out soon. Surely we'll be able to pop over to Coach. But before we lose your kind of final word, Seb, Secret, how do they bring us back from that loss in game 1?
Tempo. Play their heroes to their strength. You know, it's a Bristleback, a Leshrac, a Chen.
Thank you very much, Seb. Over to Slacks now.
Hello, thank you so much, Owen. I am here with Heen from Team Secret. Heen, rough game 1, as we saw, but what's the strategy here? Just give it to me straight. You know, when in doubt, Chen it out, or what are you guys going for?
No, it's just we want to be able to force objectives because it's been very hard to force fights or like catch them. So we're figuring with Chen, our ball is stronger and faster, and we won't get as frustrated trying to catch them or anything.
All right, well, thank you. Very informative. Appreciate it. Do you remember what Arc Warden does? It's been a while. Do you feel like you got enough counters to that and you're going to be okay with that last pick Morphling?
I mean, we played against Arc Warden a few times in scrims and maybe even matches. But so, yeah, it was not a complete surprise pick. Hopefully you're ready. I mean, game 1 didn't quite go as we envisioned, so...
All right, well, you know what? We are ready to see this thing go all the way. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give it up for this man? Give us some energy. And please give it up to our wonderful casters who will bring us in to game number 2.
Thank you very much, Slacks. Yes, we're ready to go here with game 2, Secret versus Tundra. Let's see if Secret are able to fare a little bit better, because that game 1, it was a rough one. Tundra coming out all guns blazing and being able to take that first map against Secret. I mean, overall, we did hear, of course, towards the end of the game, you know, Secret, they were able to keep spirits high. We had a lot of positivity from the comms. Sure. Exactly what you need right after, towards the end of a very rough start to the grand finals.
Yeah, and I like the big pivot that they made this game. Rather than looking to chase heroes around, looking to try to catch Tundra, which seems to be one of the biggest problems for most teams this tournament. They're the ones who is going to be forcing the issue and forcing Tundra to kind of react to them. So let's see if that works. We see right away, Tundra, they go for this level 1 smoke play. Incredibly strong level 1 with the Marcy, with the CK stun to chase heroes. But we see the Secret prepared. They had this early ward placed on top of their outpost to see immediately when smoke broke. So prepared for that early game.
And we'll see how well, Secret can deal with some of the more different heroes that Tundra are bringing into the fray this time. Eyes are going to be on 9, see how much he can do.
Oh, that is annoying.
He's going to be able to get A bit of damage there onto Crystallis as he tries to get towards his lane.
He knows he has no risk. He's playing versus Chen in the lane, so you can easily go for these type of pressure plays. Give 33 that first few creeps advantage.
I mean, so this mid matchup as well. You know, we're seeing two sort of greedy heroes here that have potential to really become the carries for both teams. The Morphling versus the Arc Warden. Anything exciting to come out of the laning stage? Is just going to be a trade and farm, or do one of these heroes have to be more careful than the other in this matchup?
Probably a trade and farm, maybe 9 slightly ahead if anything, but no, I'd say mostly just a trade. We've seen Nisha and just Morphlings in general. With the new skill build that you can go, you know, you only have to put 2 points in attribute shift. You're able to prioritize having more points in adaptive and waveform. You're able to secure CS constantly, so I'd imagine Nisha does do just fine. Looking at top, this is probably the more exciting lane, I would imagine, to look at. The shards, the stun, Lesh, constant kill threats onto the Phoenix, maybe even onto CK.
Bottom lane. Those sprays are stacking up, but damage from Saxon 33. It's enough to burst through Crystallis and take him out. She's going to even give a bit of a chase down onto Puppey.
He might go down too.
Finish him off as well. Saxon will be ready to dive in under the tower. It's the lane starting off with a double kill for 33. That's not something you want to see if you're Secret.
This is just the Tundra offlane special, right? I mean, this is always what they do. Somehow they're able to just always know how to apply so much pressure. And with this death, Soxa comes back, 6 tangos, a salve, 33. You see the items. They do this almost every time on the Visage. Tries to start with no regen, just tries to get mangoes and stats. So they can just keep doing this. I think Crystal is
so much damage. He comes back into the lane and he's pretty much immediately down to a third of his HP. Top lane as well, we're seeing Resolution. He's getting zoned back, Snaking able to take down Zayas' courier. Get the shards down, but dives at the ready.
The first few levels are incredibly impressive from this Marcian Visage. This is one of their bread and butters. Puppey will start to attempt some stabilization with the lane, get the pullback. See what creeps he's able to get to kind of dissuade this damage that's going to be coming out. He gets a pretty good one. It's a good one to at least harass them back, kind of stop their aggression.
See how soon they're able to get to a point where Crystallis is, I feel, a bit more confident to step up the creep waves. It's not easy. Off to the side, Saxa.
He'll get the creep.
Go to look to take down the creep.
They know how strong that creep can be. Good choice to kind of go for it there. And this is a great lane for the Visage where it's like, yeah, the Bristle, you know, as the panel, as Seb and Noto were talking about, you know, you do counter this hero in a way as the game progresses, and even in lane sometimes, but also you have infinite mana, right? Visage is just always able to just bash out those spells constantly onto a Crystallis' Bristle.
See there, of course, Puppey quite able to take the small camp back before the respawn. Saxa ensure that ever more tougher and tougher for Secret to gain momentum and control of the creep waves down in this bottom lane. 33 is able to hold it in a fantastic position.
Good position and tons of regen, so they can always go for this harassment. Crystallis, I believe he's got his ring. Yeah, he's got it on the courier, so we'll have some sustain, but his stats overall will be a bit low because it's going to take a very long time for that to come out, so could still look to apply pressure onto him there.
Has got both his spells on cooldown at the moment, so Secret look to choose this time to strike. Skid and drags back Zayas though. We'll ensure that that last right click required to take Snaking down won't be allowed to be there.
Still holding the Fairy Fire as well too. He's just kind of baiting them a little bit if they did try to commit. So far looking at the mid lane, yeah, Nisha, he's doing just fine. He's actually gone 3-1-1 skill build, okay. Not really feeling like he needs to go for any attribute shift at all versus an Arc Warden, only that 1 point.
And on this bottom lane, Puppey in particular has to be very careful. I mean, Crystallis as well, honestly. With the sidekick, with the rebound, push sprays are stacking up. At this stage, with the lead that they've already managed to get against the Bristle, it very much seems that Marcy and Visage, they can kill that Bristle before the quill sprays become too much and he starts killing them. They know exactly when to push it, and they know that they can get away with it.
It's just like last time, right? When they have this Tide plus this Hoodwink versus that Pudge. This time it's Visage with Marcy. Heavy physical damage, Blades of Attack again on 33. Same build he's gonna go as last time. Not the phase boots, but of course just Wraith Pact, high damage.
I mean, how do you sort of recover from the state of this bottom lane? And it feels like one more death from Crystallis down here, and it's going to be very, very difficult to bring this lane back in Secret's favor.
I like that he bought the raindrop. I think that's a good, at least, attempt to be able to, you can get a trade kill probably with those quills that we saw Soxa drop low. Just any type of small stats, any type of small survivability will help. His ring, he's still sitting behind the tower. He actually hasn't brought it out himself. He will in a second.
I think the scary thing as well, of course, is from Sax. So, you know, having a good start down bottom with the levels that he's going to be getting in on him. You know, the other lanes, they've got to be prepared as well, right? The perfect hero Marcy to have high impact at any part of the map that happens around these tier 1 towers early. They've got to be prepared for Saxon to turn up and turn things around, just like he was doing in game 1 as in Hoodwick. Bottom lane, another jump over towards Puppey. Puppey and Chrysalis try and stand their ground, but Puppey goes down. Chrysalis might have a chance to chase Saxer out this time, as Saxer, has he got any further options of getting away? He doesn't, so Chrysalis finally finding a bit of action going in his direction.
Honestly, maybe that's the way you have to do it. Just Puppey has to sacrifice himself. He has to be the one to just soak those soul assumptions for Bristleback to just get this type of trade, because otherwise, yeah, definitely seeing a bit of problems. But Chrysalis, once he has Vanguard, he'll be able to at least stay down here a lot easier, and he's getting pretty close to it.
As we can see now, despite sort of the deaths that have occurred down on that bottom lane, Chrysalis, he's pretty much keeping straight even with the farm that Skeeter, you know, carrying for Tundra on the other side. The map is getting as well.
Yeah, pretty much Vanguard is going to be done, so should be a lot safer. And Puppey, he's going to start getting some levels, so he's going to be able to actually protect Chrysalis. We see him grab some magic resistance and also just a little bit of extra damage. So that actually would help a lot. That little bit of cloak aura that's going to come out could protect Chrysalis enough. Let's see.
See if Saxer 33 can get away with this, but now with the levels, indeed, at this stage, it very much feels like it's not going to be nearly as easy as it was for Tundra in the early minutes of this lane to take down the Bristle. Chrysalis, whilst there's been a few deaths here and there, he's got through the rough bit, the lane stage.
But Visage level 6 already. That is pretty massive for 33, having it this early on. The flash is going to be out too.
Caught him in the shards. Nisha, he'll look to step over and finish off the kill. He'll get it. Zayats should go down into the spark break. So both mids able to take a kill out of this one.
33's here.
He's turned up with the familiars, ready to chase out Nisha. Nisha's got a fair few one charges.
Only level 1 shift.
Put back up, he can't. The burst is there from 9. It ends up being a double kill for the mid-arc warden.
And they do punish him for having level 1 attribute shift, right? Maxing a waveform, having 2 points in the adaptive. You do see that they're actually able to get that damage come out. And all that is because 33 hits the 6 so fast down bottom.
He's able to come in, and of course the timings that are enabled off the back of that is pretty huge already. The completed Midas out onto 9. Wow. He's able to get this, you know, started very, very early on.
Beautiful.
As he's going to be making the money. There's every reason to believe that unless Secret can make any moves to find this Arc Warden, 9, he's going to start shooting far, far ahead of anyone else in this game with regards to the farm he'll get.
It feels like it could get to these points where maybe the CK pick is kind of this distraction, you know, and this Arc Warden, he's going to try to transition hard into that real carry for his team. Other good thing about the double Midas, as we saw there, you automatically get 2 neutral items. It's actually very nice when you're able to get it this early on 9.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And now they're actually, so look at this, bit of a dynamic change. They're going to put the Visage mid, have him match up versus that Morphling, and they're going to send the Arc Warden for the time being down bottom.
So top lane, trying to go for snaking. They do connect with the stun.
Nice play.
Secret, they get in and take him down, and will in fact see Tundra sort of bail out from this top lane. Give a chance for Secret to put some pressure on. And likely with the TPs out, probably not going to be an area of the map that Tundra will look to hold on to. I mean, we did see this, of course, last time round as well, right? Game 1, 9 minutes in, Secret, they get this good timing on the tier 1. Snaking will turn back up. See if he's able to do anything on his own. He has to be very cautious. Secret still with 3 members around, looking to pressure on this top lane.
He's just soaking, it looks like. Just trying to soak up any of that bit of experience.
But the fact that this has happened twice now, it very much seems that, you know, Tundra as a team, they sort of make the call to just not put any resources into holding that tower. Just let it go.
They tend to be, you know, that extremely efficient team, as we hear lots of players talk about. Very frustrating to play versus Tundra because they know how to dodge these plays, dodge the aggression, trying to make as little mistakes as possible. Another neutral item, of course. And yeah, giving Soxen now some levels too. So distributing that wealth, top 2 net worth, and the CK Skeeter, he's hero. He jungles just fine. He's going to be able to keep his pace up and probably look to do what he was doing anyway last time, is still look to connect top, use Phantasm just to farm, kind of acting as this pseudo Naga Siren.
Of course, last game, very much saw that Secret, they never really found that chance to sort of get Chrysalis involved. Top lane snaking, out with the dive, doesn't matter. Nisha has got those final few right clicks chasing him down. You get the kill, so things looking good here for Nisha. You know, despite the quick Midas timing on 9, Nisha very much close behind him in farm.
And he's got this matchup always, as you Saksa, they actually get on him.
Got anything to rebound out towards? He doesn't.
They don't.
Secret, they hold him in the river. Able to bring it up even now, 6-6. Secret definitely doing a bit of a better job this time round at responding to some of these movements that Tundra's making around the map.
And playing around Nisha, right? With the skill build that he has so much burst potential. He actually has the gap closing potential as well too versus most of these heroes that can sometimes be a bit annoying to get on top of. So far looking to continue to play aggressive around this Morphling.
It definitely seems sort of a bit of a heavier focus around playing around this jungle of Tundra. Just trying to make sure that Skeeter doesn't get nearly as much space as he did last game. Obviously, the difference in dynamic this time is the concern that too much is focused on trying to shut down Skeeter's area. 9 goes uncontested, and it's been quite a few minutes now that 9's been able to sit down here on this bottom lane. He's getting complete free farm.
He's starting to be pretty annoying too. Crystallis is caught in an awkward position, eats 2 or 3 of those Spark Rates.
Smoke up from Secret. I'm going to try and make moves here. And so far, Resolution sides, they've done a pretty good job at killing off Snaking when they catch him. Skeeter, it's going to be a bit of a bigger kill. They're going to go straight in for him.
Close to the tower, though. Let's see.
And it looks like Tundra may have made the call to not sort of throw in any further TPs. I mean, it's not even needed there. Tundra, they make the sort of calm response to not react with TPs, knowing that Skeeter's just able to walk that one off.
But with that slight moment of like space at all, you see Puppey rotate toward mid. This is how they want to be playing. They want to be the ones who are dictating that pace, dictating this tower aggression. But we'll be able to claim this one early. Nisha, he's almost got his Dragon Lance also finished up, so very farmed so far on Secret. And they're also, in the meantime, I saw they are starting to stack Ancients a little bit too, so making sure they do have that condition for the Bristleback to continue getting that increased farm. So far, Secret though, infinitely better than that last game.
It's certainly feeling a bit more solid, but I imagine to a sort of a point with regards to the drafts, this is sort of expected, right? This time around, Secret, they gave themselves a bit of a better shot of having this sort of earlier hold, earlier pressure that they're able to apply, and at the same time, the change with 9 playing an Arc Warden instead of
playing like a carry.
He's going to react to sort of these moves a little less. So I don't think, Tundra, they're not going to feel too under pressure despite losing some of these early towers. They've gone for a bit of a different approach this time round. And, at the moment, under a 1k gold difference between the two teams. 9, I think he's still very happy.
Yeah, it's a totally different approach, right? The last time they had the Tusk, who's super aggressive, constantly rotating, making plays. Now it's just, it's a full economy game, really. Everyone's just trying to find as much farm as possible until they find this timing. Wraith Pact is done. Looks like now they're trying to speed up a little bit, go for a tower pressure of their own.
They'll take this one for sure. And they'll have no interest in this fight, this defense around this bottom tower.
Secret's maximizing. You see now, as we were mentioning, the stacks. Triple Ancient stack, double hard camp. So Crystallis will have a bit of enabling coming out of your juicy stacks.
Good farm for Crystallis. We saw very much in game 1 as the Pudge pretty much held behind the entire time in terms of farm on cores. You can clear these stacks, get on the road towards the Aghanims. That's going to be the point where you can imagine that Secret, they're going to really start stepping things up and get up towards the tier 2 pushes with a Vanguard, Aghanims, Bristle. They're going to want to do as much as they can aggressively with it before 9 suddenly turns up and he has 3 items done.
Very farm-heavy game, though. Showing all 3 lanes. See, the Morphling shows bottom for a second. They show mid, I believe, on Zayats. Even the Lesh top 2. But good ward coverage. So Secret, they know they're safe for the moments. I'm kind of grouping together with Puppey, with the mech, with the Hand of God. They're tanky. There's a lot of damage on Tundra, but this Bristleback with all these heals might just be able to pierce through them.
Let's see if they can get on top of any of Tundra.
I mean,
Tundra's staying pretty hidden outside of the vision of Secret. I mean, Secret, they know that Tundra do have a few up here in the jungle.
If they get any big kills, Secret could even look for Roche potentially.
They're going to settle for Saksa. Zayats catches wind of the Marcy off to the side. They'll go for Saksa. For Tundra, definitely not the biggest of losses there. They had a few cores farming in that area, and Secret, they weren't able to find them.
They're going to do it. They're going to go for this.
Roche.
They have more than enough damage. They have the goo.
Do they do anything about this Tundra? Are they going to expect the Secret back up as quickly as they did into the pit?
It's not an easy place to fight.
It's going down so quick.
Yeah, it's going to be dead already. Secret dictating the pace.
Very, very, very good moves here from Secret so far. Absolutely getting to play their game so much more than they were able to do so last game here. 15 minutes in, they've got the Aegis in their hands, so... Ooh.
Oh, so close.
Well, it's close indeed. Snaking and D throwing out a tip for that one. That was
is under attack.
as close as it gets, really, on the back of an escape in the TP.
So Tundra perhaps wanting to make a move of their own now. They do, because everyone's shown, right? Secret, they have been shown a lot in these lanes, so Tundra looks like they do want to try to counteract this. They have 9 who can constantly always show up to the fights too.
Yeah, I think for the most part, Tundra know that even though the Secret had that Aegis, it's sort of an Aegis that's going to be used to just continue to allow Nisha to farm safely.
Yeah.
And Secret will be a little bit split up. Which gives the chance for Tundra to push for towers themselves and to sort of head straight into these fights, knowing that they'll probably have the numbers advantage at this stage.
And they can take these towers pretty quickly as well too. Visage with the CK Phantasm tends to be always the Tundra strategy, right? There's so much on the floor. Break Pact, illusions, familiars, etc. So they can go for this push, but on the other side, Secret
taking Tier 2 tower here. Nice and early, 16 minutes in. Tier 2 to fall on the top lane. And now they'll really be able to start taking over this jungle, this half of the map from Tundra. Really sort of shutting down the areas that Tundra, they kind of need to fire at least at their 2 main cores. They need space. Skeeter and 9, they want to be soaking up quite a lot of the map to get farm on these 2 carries.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be quite a long time before Tundra just looks for this head-on type of fight. Unless they see, like we said, unless they see Secret completely split up or something like that. Feels like it's going to be quite a farm game coming out from them. Even Soxon now showing mid. He might get punished for this.
They got him before. Looks like they're going to go for him again.
See if they can find him. Zayats. I don't think they got vision of him for a second. Now they did.
Saxa has Skeeter by his side, but
too much.
Won't be able to jump over towards him in time. So that is Saxa going down.
Similar wards coming out from Tundra as they did in the last game. So this one, exact same ward, and actually this one not on the high ground this time, but similar kind of purpose to watch any of these movements that are coming out from Secret, because Tundra, as we said, I think this is really going to be pretty emphasis of farm until 9 says, hey guys, I'm ready to show up. And maybe that's going to actually happen sooner than we expect, because I believe the Gleipnir is about to be done.
Just a recipe away.
That could be the indicator for them to show up. It does add so much potential for this hero. The damage, the control, everything, of course. But allows you to just freely land Spark Rates and kind of just keep people away from getting on top of you. So let's see if that is when they are going to look to fight.
It could be difficult to close that gap onto 9, especially considering the heroes that are drafted around him. A lot of frontline, even sort of from the supports, right?
Yes.
Snaking, getting him with a Supernova. Saxa throwing himself in as the Marcy, getting him with the rebound. Very much multiple ways that Tundra can set up a team fight to just allow 9 to go to work, with Secret having a really tough time getting on top of it.
Constantly thinking about it.
It's hard to push for this tower, even with the moments left on the Aegis. Secret being very careful about how they look to make the next step.
It's a risky move. Don't want to overextend and get 5-man. They haven't seen this. They haven't seen the Arc Warden in a while, so they probably don't know either what 9's got just yet. Level 13 on this Arc already. Running around as a unit. 4 heroes together on Secret. Well, it's Chrysalis. Looks like he's got the BKB ready, so look, it feels like, yeah, Secret, they're just going to keep trying to push the tempo a little bit faster here. Even a blink now on the ledge too for Rezo, so as you mentioned, can be a little bit hard to maybe get to this Arc Warden without just the Morphling getting on him. Now Rezo's got a tool of his own.
Okay. And do you very much feel that Secret are on a timer? Like, even though they have this Nisha Morphling that's going to be able to get to these incredible stages of power in terms of scaling, you still kind of fear the Arc Warden as the moments pass?
Fear the high ground for sure. Rezo.
Tundra got to quickly back out, snaking. Away in time, that snowball not able to catch him. Tundra avoiding the moves of Secret. Secret just trying to get some sort of aggressive play out of these final few seconds that they have on the Aegis of Nisha. It's back over towards the mid. Saxa. A bit of a chase down onto Puppey. Puppey has got back up on the way. Chrysalis heading over to help out, and Tundra, they won't try and poke up into the triangle of Secret quite yet. Maybe they will with Skeeter at the front. He's actually going to go for Puppey. See Chrysalis now as Chrysalis starts to try and push back Tundra. Nisha it's coming in from the side there, but the snowball over towards Skeeter, but Saxon's in with the rebound, stone up to Nisha. Nisha starting to try and shift, but that's gone. He's got Aegis though. He's going to be back for round 2. Chrysalis charges in with the BKB over towards the Phoenix, but Snake he's able to get the Supernova off. Secret, they've got to back away from the ultimate for now, as 9 turns up with the Tempest double. No longer an easy fight for Secret to charge into. Zayats, he's trying to find some sort of angle from the side, but Tundra, they're here as a full fight man. They're looking towards Snakey, but the dives back up. They get the stun control onto Skeeter. Skeeter turns with the stun himself, but he's life stealing back up. It's not enough though. Skeeter goes down. Secret able to get 1 kill out of this, maybe more. Chrysalis Trying to lead the charge. Secret, they want to get something else out of this. Tundra, Satcher in the trees. Put Duke off to the side, back under the tier 2, he'll be fine. But Secret, they force a fight there around the expiring Aegis of Nisha. They get Skeeter. And with that in mind, they'll be able to get themselves straight onto Tundra's half of the map and continue to grow this lead.
Perfectly rallied, right? Rallied on Puppey. That's got to be the name of the game. He's got the flats, he's got the mech, he's got all these auras. We see the ice armor coming into play. Crystallis had no fear. He pops BKB and he just starts charging right through everybody. And then they nicely kite and play around that supernova beautifully. Tundra maybe going a little bit too hard going into this Secret lineup when there still is that Aegis. So 10 seconds until it was going to go down.
Yeah, it was a very clean reset as well there for the Secret. As soon as the supernova comes out, they're able to sort of back off. And you can see, you know, from Tundra, they still commit into this. They very much feel that they've got the strength to do so with the 5 of them. It wasn't quite the case. Losing Skeeter here to what was a very patient Zayas, just keeping himself held to the side, looking for that opportunity to open things up onto Tundra, but maybe an angle that they weren't quite ready to sort of expect that entrance from the Tusk from. Back in action, talking about the Tusk, Zayas, in with a jump, they lock down Snaking, Skeeter looks to turn, they've got the lightning control out, but Skeeter's trapped. He's not trapped on the low ground, he'll stand his ground, the Tundra will stand the crits come out, take out the 2 of them. It's a double kill for 9.
Oh my, it was Soxa gets the 2-man rebound and they get the chain stun from the birds. I mean,
This time round, very much a case of Secret kind of making the move into committing for the fight, but not having what it took there to sort of take Skeeter down at the same speed they're able to do back mid. Tundra able to turn. And immediately off the back of taking down those 2 cores, they'll take the tier 1 tower. And closing that lead, the Secret were building. It's back down to sort of straight even here on the goal.
It's so much sustain that comes out really from Tundra's draft too. Their Vlads, their sidekick, everything coming to play. I mean, look at Skeeter. I mean, watch his HP.
I think a couple of nice armlet toggles there as well for Skeeter, very much keeping him fully in action. Between that and the heals, there's just too much. They couldn't kill the CK this time round.
Not rallied around Puppey. You know, they have to be a little bit careful when they don't have all these auras that are making them that much tankier. Tundra's damage is pretty insane.
And when they go for those plays and 9's just able to sort of sit back at a distance, it's concerning. You know,
He's loving
2
life.
kills for 9.
And now they also have an AC, so starting to build up these auras to even counteract and play against this Chen, but also protect versus this big damage that comes out from the Bristle and that Morph. 33 is quite large.
Yeah, and we see with 9 next time queued up is going to be the Blink Dagger, so it'll be even harder for Secret to get that jump onto him. We see any sort of snowball or hero running up at this Arc Warden. 9, he's going to be able to blink back, reposition, and allow the rest of his team to sort of be there in between him and Secret.
I love this type of build. Eventually, you can always build into like these overwhelming blinks and whatnot on Arc Warden, and then you have these double blinks and all this aggression you can do too. It's very oppressive as Tundra now starting to find their footing completely.
They'll look for tier 2 themselves.
Sidekick Bird, look how quick the tower drops. See you later.
Gone in a matter of seconds, even if that. And off the back of that, immediate smoke from Tundra. They know that Secret's playing over on Tundra's half of the map around their jungle.
They're feeling incredibly strong with this newfound AC on 33.
This is a tough time for Secret to take a fight.
They also disassembled, so the BKB is ready.
9 with the Tempest doubling, start things off with the Glyphid, they grab back Zayat. Secret, they've got to run.
Hey, that's also really cool that he can do with the blink too. Right now, he has an initiator. They don't need to actually rely on the Marcy being the one to jump in. He just blinks in and gets a Glyphner initiation. Yeah, BKB, Skeeter had just finished that one up, so they felt strong to be able to go for this play. And now he's got Mage Slayer as well too, so items started to be picked up on the side of Tundra, not only just to do lots of damage, but of course, damage mitigation, as we've seen so much from them. AC, Mage Slayer, it's going to start to reduce a lot of Secret's potential.
It's so hard for them to burst through Skeeter like they were able to do that one time when he was caught on their half of the map.
It's a really good item this game, just like last time, versus that Lash versus the Bristle, reduce the damage of the Quills, even the burst that comes out from Morphling. So, it's starting to come together for them. It's a very common build, of course, too, for Skeeter.
I think for Secret, Nisha most certainly making the call for them to just sort of hold off on any further engagements until he gets his BKB done.
Yeah.
About half the gold away from the recipe, and it will be there, but it's going to be a little later than the timing that Roshan is going to be back in the game here. Roshan respawning.
They're walking up.
They are up on the high ground. They definitely want to try and do their best to push Tundra away from going for the Roche. See if they can hold them off from it. That's Tundra. They won't feel the need to be too scared of Secret. You know how strong they are. Secret, they'll look at the smoke up. Trying to catch Tundra from an angle they won't expect is not going to be easy when Secret currently hold the position they are. They're going to try and swing around from the west.
Lanes are starting to kind of get pushed out, though. We see Tundra cutting a wave mid.
Got this ward on 9. 9. He's already out of this area.
This is the Tundra special, right? They start shoving those side lanes in to try to put you into this awkward position of a fight. Everyone rallied around each other.
How do you make the call of Secret? How do you make the jump? Tundra with their own smoke.
They don't want to overextend for these type of jumps either. Like we were saying before, they need to stay kind of rallied around Puppey. Make sure that they can utilize these auras at a maximum.
Tundra just rotating sort of all the way around where Secret's tried to step out for.
They found Puppey.
They're going to be able to get on the easy kill first. Straight on over the chair. Puppey caught by the Hex, taken down. Science tries to roll in, but there's no place for him here.
Puppey pig-poled himself. Doesn't even get any heals off or anything. No Wraith Pack, no mech. Caught by the stun anyway, so likely dies, but now it's an option for them to go for Roche.
And with both supports down, I don't think the cores of Secret are going to want to turn up for this.
Oh boy.
This should be a free and easy Roche out for Tundra.
Free shard as well. Skeeter's going to be loving that. He actually passes it away. Looks like he's going to give it to 9. Okay, so more ways for him to protect himself and also magic resistance. So they can actually hold it. So we're talking so much about damage mitigation, of course, but this is another element that I feel like we don't really get to see too often. You fight inside the bubble, your lash, this bristle, the damage might not be there.
It's going to be a fair bit of protection. Indeed, able to be kept consistently up and out on the field.
And things are starting to get a bit scary because the scaling for Tundra is getting quite strong. Even the Marcy, level 12 is online. BKB is on the horizon. 12 on Phoenix. Game plan for Secret is starting to get kind of dissuaded.
Around the mid, they do find 33.
Okay.
Out and on his own.
He's very deep.
They might be able to do something about the familiars as well here.
Big pickup.
With the slip up, a rare one as well there for 33. Out on his own. Be out now for 40 seconds.
Can they turn it into more?
Is there something they can do with this one?
Yeah, they have to push out this bottom lane. Top is being dealt with Puppey, but do they have an opportunity to go for anything here?
Sax is very close to his BKB. Already, once again, Tundra support, so many games where their supports just turn into additional cores. Of course, as a Marcy, very much sort of the direction that Saxa will go as the minutes pass. Skeeter, so having his Blink Dagger done, may have killed 33, but indeed it definitely feels like there's not a whole lot they can do with that. They're looking towards 9's Tempest double at the top. See if they can sort of burst through that, get a bit of extra gold for themselves. They will, they'll take it down.
Have to go for the top play because if you looked at the side lanes, mid lane, Phantasm was pushing it, bottom, Phantasm Illusion was also pushing it. So it's a typical Tundra trying to shove those lanes down, and now they see this. They see them split up. So Tundra, they're looking to strike.
Full axe on Crystallis.
Comes out late though.
Does not quite at the timing that they would have hoped for, especially considering the decent start they did have to this game. Zayat, maybe the one left behind up top. Tundra, everybody back on the map now. Ready to get together. Push down on this top lane. Still many minutes of Aegis to play with. Full Octarine done on 9.
He's so farmed. 6,000 ahead of his counterpart.
And there's going to be no catching up in terms of farm unless Secret are able to find these fights where Nisha's able to pop off, get the kills, somehow take down this Arc Ward, and it's going to be a lot of money if they're able to do so.
Just not an easy task.
He's got his Crystallis done, Nisha, so stepping up the damage a bit. We'll see how explosive he will be if he's able to get in the center of the fight with the waveform, stand his ground between the BKB and the Manta that he has.
He's going to need as much I feel like it's really appropriate that he's going this. I feel like they're really just going to need all the physical damage as possible because as we were saying, they just have so many different ways to mitigate that magic damage that they always tend to do. Especially with that arc warded bubble as well too. So yeah, straight physical damage, go waveform attack target, and with that, with the goo as well too, he could be dealing a lot of damage, but so far Tundra, they've started to really just take over this map.
Is under attack.
5k lead, 4 to 5k. I mean, nowhere near as terrifying as the numbers were showing at this moment in the game, in game 1. But still, you very much feel that one more fight, if the next fight crumbles for Secret, that lead's going to triple. Secret, they cannot afford to lose another team fight here against Tundra. At the moment, very much seems like they're opting to wait out the Aegis that Skeeter has. Not looking to head straight into anything for this final minute. Skeeter has that second life.
Is under attack.
Again, pop those Phantasm to send out to all these side lanes. Bottom is being pushed, but immediately 9 goes down. So again, sticking together Tundra, and they will just find a freebie.
They will indeed, Giants. I mean, anyone that they catch with the farm that Skeeter has.
And now that's
completely destroyed.
High ground. They've got drums for these birds. They've got the sidekick we're going to see on the bird too. And look at the speed. Look how fast it drops.
It's going quickly. Fortification is there from Secret.
They've got the Rezo, they've got Shard on Rezo, so he's going to be able to slow it down a little bit with these chain stuns.
We'll see if Nisha can do anything here. He's ready to TP over, help out with the defense.
Oh, this is dirty. Look at these birds. Birds with magnetic field magic resistance, the attack. I mean, they're so strong.
They are huge annoyance to deal with here for Secret. We'll go for the resummon.
Stun, Skeeter.
He's low, but he's still got 20 seconds or so left on the Aegis. He's going to back off. We'll see them catch out the two of them with the root. Skeeter focuses in. That'll be him going down.
Rezo.
Those final few seconds of the Aegis. He's ready for round 2. Saxa, he'll charge him with the unleash of the BKB. Quickly turning towards him with his right clicks. They'll put an end to the Marcy's life. Saxa to fall. Grab now on the Chrysalis. Skeeter 33. They get back in on top of the Bristol. They take him down. Nisha popping the BKB. Having to use it to retreat back to the high ground. Skeeter, he's in straight away, blinks up into the high ground. They've got the lockdown over towards Nisha. Waveform back up in time. Nisha gets away. Double buyback from Secret. They're putting everything into this defense, but Skeeter's in with a Chaos Ball over towards Resolution. It doesn't matter though. Skeeter goes down. Secret with the 2 buybacks. They'll be able to hold and push Tundra back.
Nisha able to stand his ground there. Look at the damage done. 9,000 damage from the Morphling. The buybacks coming perfectly.
A defense for sure here from Secret, but they'll want more.
They got to push forward for sure.
Crystal is spending up for that one. See up to the side, Zayats. He's got the catch though, the gap control onto Snake King. Snake King popped the supernova, but Chrysalis
is going to die.
And he's ready to help take the egg down. Secret, they'll find another down bottom. Rezo, he's got his eyes on 9 stun. That's already been used, and he's out in time. 9 able to get away before Nisha's able to put a stop to him. They'll still clean up the Tempest double. As Secret, with this sort of pushback, they're able to bring in the mid lane, bring in the bottom lane, able to get the creep waves back under sort of their momentum, and they may just be able to take some tier 2s away from Tundra here, close the gap, close the lead that Tundra's had for the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, this time it's Tundra feeling themselves a little bit too much in that fight and just getting counteracted from those buybacks. The damage, this time Rezo's able to hold his ground.
I mean, we're very much seeing it. You know, you get given sort of any window from Tundra, you have to take full opportunity of it.
Immediate smoke.
Exactly what Secret's doing.
Yep, they got to smoke, sweep the map. They still have some heroes dead. Ult's on cooldown. Try to get as much as you can out of all
this. They've got to keep their foot slammed down on the pedal. Hit
63.
The fight 33 off to the start. Took to himself for now, but they're surrounding him, and he's got nobody else in the area. So 33, he'll go down. Secret, they continue to play it hard and fast, fighting back.
Big
at Tundra.
A huge place, really. Those buybacks are really coming into play. 33, he accepts that. He had the Aeon disc locked. He's like, no one's coming to help me. As Secret find their way back into this game. Nisha, he's massive now. Level 20 about to be taken. Also, Daedalus is finished.
Big damage to come out from this morph.
He's going to be able to focus fire these targets a little bit better.
I mean, it was seen, as I say, so many times before. Nisha on the morphling. This is the hero. You want to have him in this sort of position. He can absolutely carry any sort of game to the later stages when he's on his morphling. So top lane. So of course now done.
Rezo,
he's
very deep. There's a Hex.
Look at the opening Hex. And Rezo is going to be able to get anything off. He's not. Phantasm's out. An overwhelming amount of damage there from Skeeter and the Phantasm.
That's the Hex reveal. He had no idea that was going to come. Usually you'd be able to maybe play around with the pounds coming in or the rebound coming in from Marcy with the BKB, but did not expect that Hex from the tree lines. Roche, it'll be a long spawn, 2 minutes. Giants standing under a ward here. Very careful how far up he is.
I mean, Secret are absolutely going to want to do their best to keep tabs of when Tundra head into the pit. They'll want to get out there, they'll want to contest them. They do not want Tundra getting this next Roshan.
Nice play from Nisha. The illusions down bottom, we see them cutting the wave. So making sure that they always deal with those lanes. It seems like it's always like the most important thing when you're playing versus Tundra, keep that lane equilibrium. Will be addressed immediately. 9 shows up. And they're going to just keep peeping into the pit. That's going to be that next big thing, 90 seconds.
It really is. See if Secret can set up in a fashion to make sure that they are ready to take this fight around this area.
Important to look at these buyback statuses at the moment too. So. Ooh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hopefully, simply sort of some, potentially maybe just a hotkey issue or something. See if that's going to be fixed by a quick reset here for snaking. Very much, yeah, the moment that we're going to see them leading towards now. He's back in. Let's see if he can use his courier now. Give it a quick check.
Look at lane positioning at the moment, though. Secret have to try to fix their lanes a little bit. They do have this Harpy creep, maybe to perhaps try to cut things, but the moment Tundra have lanes in a very good position.
Let's have a look.
Phantasm is up in a moment as well, too, so they're going to be able to keep going for this shove play. And yeah, Roche constantly going to be getting scouted. And the important thing is, too, Secret doesn't know about that deep ward down south. The one that was scouted inside support, that's a very sneaky one that has not been seen. Oh.
It's not a good sign.
Uh-oh. Let's get Courier's bug.
Let's see if there's going to be a hopefully simple solution to this.
A standard unlucky.
You can say so. Yeah, unlucky.
And that Nisha smile.
See if we're able to get this sorted. A little bit of a, you know, not really something you can play on with.
Maybe it's locked, he says. Let's see if they can fix it. So a big thing really to look at is, I mean, this Hex is going to be a big one, really.
So it looks like we're just getting this checked out now on the stage. Hopefully should be an easy enough fix. I mean, not something I could say I've run into before, right?
I've had it with neutral items sometimes when you're trying to take it with wars and smoke. Maybe something like that is happening, but it doesn't have a neutral there, so.
So I think maybe the speed that we did have to reconnect the first time round could have been without a client reset, so
yeah, let's see.
Probably go for the full restart this time round.
Hopefully, if not, he'll be able to at least drop the wards and give them to a different courier so somebody else can bring them, but
still wouldn't quite be ideal.
No way.
Of course, this pause coming at a very important moment of the game. 17-17 here, 35 minutes in. Without a doubt, very much getting much more of a balanced game of Dota 2 on our hands this time round. Secret, they've dealt much better with what Tundra's brought against them this time round.
It's really neck and neck. Just because, I mean, especially how big Nisha really is, how much he's going to be able to do with this Daedalus. And he's approaching his second item afterwards, too. So survivability will be there for him. All right, let's see.
Let's have a look. Fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, that things are going to be all working after the pause. Let's see.
Doesn't look like
it looks good. Oh, is it?
No, it's spazzing. I actually see it. It's like it's like stutter walking actually in the base, I think. Looked like for a second it tried to move. But yeah, it says retrieving items. See, look. If you click on snaking courier, it says retrieving items. On the actual courier, it's a buff.
Oh, okay, now we're giving it another try.
Because usually it tries to pull it from. Well, he dropped it. There we go. Looks like we're good to go.
A little bit of, a way to break out of a bit of a soft lock that was there on the courier, but it's all good.
I think we all needed that. You know, a little bit of a reset. Okay, let's get back into it.
So, that was always a bit of a concerning position, but we're all good. We're all good. It has been fixed. We'll see if it should be an issue down the line. Maybe the courier was just sort of stuck or something, but it's good. It's all good. We're back on. And around, of course, the focus next up for both teams is going to be this Roshan. Just a minute until it's going to respawn.
Wow, Nisha already.
All satanic.
Yeah, she has it.
He's getting the items, Nisha. He's getting the items to be able to do this. But still, obviously a huge gap in network between him and the Arc Lord. That's always going to be expected up to a certain point at this stage, especially with the amount of freedom that Nine's had. And Nine, of course, this game 4-0-5. Pretty much complete free farm across the map.
If they can get the Hex, though.
They're able to get that opening. There's no save, though. It's going to be there. Give Nisha a bit of a chance to break out of this initiation from Tundra. They jump across sides, looks towards 33. They push Saxa out towards the side. Nisha beating him down, takes out the Marcy. They'll look towards the Tempest double next. Tundra losing that Marcy, losing Saxa like this. They're very careful about how they commit for the fight further.
Beautiful play, really, from Zayats. Just immediately, that's the big thing they have to watch out for. It's just the chain control. If they can chain stun, chain hex the Morphling, that's the way that Tundra kills. I mean, all eyes on Zayats to go for those saves.
Oh, there's again the Hex. So Zayats by his side.
He's got to be there every time.
Single time, Zayt's making sure that there's a chance for Nisha to fight back. They catch him with the furthest. No, Nisha's in so much trouble. They've taken him down.
He bought out.
Out for 80 seconds.
He didn't have BKB still available, and they just commit for him. I don't think Secret saw that.
All he had was the Satanic to rely on, but even if he gets that off, he's getting caught in the stuns.
Oh, boy.
Almost certainly.
And, I mean, Roche now is for the taking.
It certainly is.
It's a big
Perfect time for it to be back up here for Tundra. They head over to the pit. And with no Nisha, no Zayat, nothing that Secret can do about this. This is going to be a free Roshan here for Tundra.
And Zayat is there. He's there perfectly to try to go for the save. Young BKB, Manta still on cooldown. The double brutes, you see the Gleipnir coming in. He's able to cover. So much control, and yeah, Aegis Cheese, Refresher Shard.
Who's taking the Refresher Shard? Who do you want this on?
Usually it's the Phoenix, but let's see if he does opt to pass it to somebody
very
else.
Close to hitting the level 18 as well, so the Supernovas have the potential to be huge.
And they have this ward up top too. Rezo, there's a Hex.
There's 9 again.
They've got the chains done.
Finding the opening, in with the rebound as well. Toss back with the dispose. They take him down before the Hex comes to an end, and any opportunities there for Resolution to respond. He's out for 70. He does have buyback himself. Still at 10 seconds without Nisha. Tundra, they're straight down the mid. They take out the range racks, and they'll look to get the melee racks as well. Crystal is trying to force them away from him, but they don't get him. In fact, they're just going to get aggressive on him, drag him back in. He has to put the BKB here. As the Phantasms continue to take down the melee ranks, the full set now in the mid, removed here by Tundra, and they're sticking around. 9 up towards the top of the Tempest double. They're trying their best to force out this buyback from Resolution. Another tier 3's gone, a second set of ranks exposed.
Look how fast it dies.
Are they going to be forced back at all? Fortifications pop. Sinisha on top of the Tempest double. It's soon to come to an end. Nisha's been caught by this other snowball. It's there. Zayt's able to bail the Nisha out. That initiation there from Tundra. Nisha wants the BKB. Looks towards Saxon. Saxon wants the BKB. Turns towards Chrysalis. Disposes there. Chrysalis is down. No buyback for him. There's 100 seconds now without their Bristol. Rezo, his own BKB to come to an end. He has to back off. Nisha's also going to be so careful. They'll lose Puppey. 2 heroes dead, no buyback on them. Tundra, they take a full second set of barracks.
They're just so good at just resetting and poking, forcing BKBs, forcing mistakes, waiting for the perfect opportunity.
I mean, they're not going back ananywhere.
No way, Snaking still has the Refresher Shard. They couldn't even touch the egg in that last fight.
I mean, we've seen with it, so the purchases from Chrysalis, he did spend up. He would have had buyback back in 3 seconds, but he's 700 gold short of it.
It's all gone. I mean, the way they kill those buildings is way too fast.
I mean, the terrifying thing as well is indeed, yeah, Skidder still with that Aegis, Snaking still with the Refresher Shard. There's no reason, no need for Tundra to back off. They're looking to close this game 2 out. And the tier 4s fall. Secret, they'll look to smoke up. One final attempt to stop this push for Tundra, but the Ancient's falling so far. Rezo looks to jump in. Skidder will drag back Resolution. Resolution trying to get the heal off with the Bloodstone. They'll keep him alive. The handoff from Puppey will protect him for now. But the Ancient's still dying here to the familiar. Secret, they're trying to push them back, but it's not going to be possible. GG is going to be called.
Wow.
As game 2 also going to Tundra, who now lead the series 2-0 against Team Secret.
I mean, I feel like the whole game kind of flips the script, everything looking kind of even. 9 gets this Hex, immediately the game just becomes fully in their favor. A couple pickoffs here and there, the way they can poke and prod, force BKBs, reinitiate, re-go. Beautiful to watch. Tundra just continue to be on another level in these team fights.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, in regards from game 1 to game 2, definite sort of improvements overall from Secret, but still, just the way that Tundra are able to shut these games down, and even to the point as well, with their draft, we knew that the win was going to come in a bit of a different fashion regardless from what they did in game 1. And, you know, the fact at the end of the day is that 9 on the Arc Warden.
What a beast.
8-0-9. Secret, they were just never able to catch him, Fog.
No, he kept the distance, he was like the initiator half the time too. It felt like he did it pretty much everything for this team. Catching the split push, etc. Remarkable game from Tundra.
Well, as we said, a bit of an improvement maybe from game 1 to game 2, but it really feels like Secret, they've got to step it up so much more to have any sort of chance of stopping Tundra in their tracks, as Tundra now leading the series 2-0, just 1 win away from taking the championship.
Thank you very much, Odie, Pixel and Fogg. Welcome back to our panel. And it doesn't seem to matter what lineup they play. They put on an absolutely clinical game of Dota. One mistake, and then it's just, thank you very much, it's our map. Sorry, I'm joined by Tika, Blizzard, and Sheep. I'm just amazed with Tundra right now. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It looks so dominating. You know, it's like, is it a grand finals?
I feel like they just keep on pulling heroes out of the bag, right? Like even this Arc Warden, and it's not like they're picking heroes that they're constantly playing, but they make it look like they have so much practice on them. Meanwhile, Secret, at the same time, I think Tundra is in their head again. Like you can't play against an Arc Warden and let it be all alone on the bottom lane for like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just using that double Midas off cooldown.
Yeah, and this was the big turning point in this highlight here. Secret, after quite a dominating early game, moving from tower to tower, they just kind of fall victim to that kind of choke point fight. And unfortunately, even if you are taking some of these earlier towers, feeling that you're taking the map away from Tundra, like Lizard just mentioned, you're not stopping the Arc from farming. So at some point, you are going to hit that boiling point where Tundra hits a team timing and then gets to set the pace of the game themselves.
How many ways they have to initiate?
I mean, they kept gaining ways to initiate throughout the game. That was like what I found the most impressive. When they finished this Gleipnir and stuff, they're starting with that and going into the Marcy Dispose. You know, before that they're using Marcy. Later they get the Hex. They're creating their own ways of initiation. They're sitting with 4 heroes in the trees waiting for Resolution the Strike to just come up the lane and then pick him off like that. They are bleeding Secret dry.
And again, they're just getting multiple ways of gaining info, gaining vision. Like before you had, I don't know, a Brood Mother Naga. Now you have this Arc Warden just spamming spirits everywhere. You have Visage as well. And speaking of Visage, it wasn't only 33 Visage, it was a Visage with a Marcy. Now you have a sidekick on those birds. The objectives are just melting.
Yeah, just the fact that you have as well, like 33 in lane, it's a Visage killing the Bristleback. Like this lane, you're not meant to win it. When you pick Bristleback, you're meant to beat the Visage in lane. So Tundra already just excelling inside that laning phase and just kind of catapulting themselves to kind of weather the storm. And maybe if that Visage lane didn't go so well for Tundra, you could argue that the Bristle would be a little bit bigger. The pace Secret could set could be a little bit better. But the fact that you win that lane, it stalls it out a little bit longer. So Tundra then eventually, like we already mentioned, hit this beautiful team timing where they just punish Secret once again in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Chrysalis still had a decent-ish timing. They stacked the Ancients hard.
Yeah.
And of course, yeah, Skidder here, the carry for Tundra. He's just had not only a great performance, but a great team enabling him. And I don't think he's put a foot wrong, really. He's always known what he needs to do, his objectives, and of course, his team fighting skills are, on par with that as well.
The optimization once again, right? Like you have this Chaos Knight who is building into a very early Mage Slayer. He is mitigating the damage that Lashrak is dishing out, and overall just being a true team player, just being up front, helping the Visage, and the Arc Warden do the majority of the work.
Again, just look at the stats that you see here, right? Like this is his first TI. He's hitting firsts in multiple categories. Like he is unnerved. He has unlocked his ability just to enable himself, enable the team. Again, we've had so many interviews where they just feel like everything's clicking, everything's right. And again, we're going into a game 3 where it feels like Secret just has nothing to answer yet to Tundra's playstyle.
But in defense of Secret, this was a better performance than game 1.
Yes, they adapted a lot. So from game 1 to game 2, you can clearly see how the cogs were turning with Heen and Puppy's mentality on how to approach Tundra. They needed to take towers early. They wanted to take away the map. Don't allow that fortified style of Tundra to set into play. Unfortunately, that didn't then lead to them dominating the map, them holding an aggressive position, because they faltered a little and Tundra then kind of sneaked their way through into the map and played again. So I think if you're going at Secrets looking at this again, game 3, we need to do what we did in game 2, but better. We need to execute faster, quicker, take away the map. Don't let them even get that up.
Sheep, do you snatch, do you ban the Lash? Do you leave it in the pool? Do you pick it? You just lost twice with it. You lost on mid, you lost on offlane.
Yeah, I don't know if they need to ban it, because I don't think Tundra are interested in taking it. Yeah, like, it feels like they have a very solid idea against the Lashrak. I also feel like their way of drafting versus the style is not working either, because they've tried this, like, Magnus strat with Ember, like, ways to clear all these illusions and stuff, and it's not working. They've tried Bristleback, and Lashrak also here is typically thought to be good against these illusions. It's not working. I feel like at this point, your draft needs to go more in the direction of taking your own map control, fighting back against Tundra, because they are just able to play the map too well. You have to break that. That has to be the goal of your draft.
And this is something you mentioned, Lizard. The Arc Warden sat on the Tundra's off lane for 5 minutes, but Secret didn't want to engage. They were not interested in going down and making moves there. Instead, though, they did have the Dire jungle, and they did pick up a few kills. Do you think it was too passive to play around the jungle and not take on the Arc Warden, who was played by Nine?
Yeah, I feel like it's easy to be complacent when you're playing a draft such as Secrets. You have this Morphling, he is going to be the ultra carry late game. The problem is you're playing versus an Arc Warden. You won't get to the late game if you let him roam and do whatever he wants in the first 15 minutes. He just gets too big, too fast, and gets that hex fast enough. You've seen what happens.
Well, we'll have to see what Secret are going to do for Game 3. But right now, I think we need to hear a little bit from Tundra, because before the Grand Finals, they sat down with Avo.
Welcome, Tundra Esports, to the Grand Finals round table. What is a peak Tundra game? What game do you guys think expresses your playstyle the most?
I can say that to me it's not about the heroes. Like for me, like the peak Tundra, in my words, would be controlled chaos. I think that's how we describe us.
Wow. Very cool. Is it a close relationship between you guys?
I think it's very important to be close to one another, to be able to function as a team. And I think right now, like, I really enjoy spending time with all of the guys. I think it's also partly the reason why we are playing well as a team, I think.
It's your first TI, Skitter. First time you get to play in front of such a big crowd at a TI.
Correct.
Well, how does it feel?
I mean, it feels great. It's all I ever dreamed it to be. And, you know, I always wanted this to be a reality, so I'm just happy to live it.
You've had your experience at TI, particularly that second place with DC. In that tournament, you came in as the underdogs, right, into TI, or at least maybe not one of the favorites. Do you feel like that this tournament?
I would say so. Like, I feel like after the results in like Saudi and the Arlington Major, like we kind of had some pretty bad results, so people weren't like looking at us as like one of the contenders, which I think, like in hindsight, it was a very good thing to us. Even after we lost, we kind of said like, no, it's good. Now we can go in as the underdogs, you know.
How do you guys feel about snaking as a captain?
He's always trying his hardest, and I think he's been doing a really great job. Like, he's always managed to stay positive, even through kind of our rough times.
I feel like he's done a great job. I feel like sometimes as a captain, people fall into these traps where they kind of like, they had like maybe a bit too much in the ego and they believe in their ideas too much and they don't try to empower the teammates. But I feel like Sneh has done a good job of balancing this out, like empowering the teammates' ideas and also like believing in his and trying to make them work. So I feel like he's exceeded my expectations for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think he's very great at enabling players and their ideas.
We don't need like a strong leader in terms of someone that makes all the decisions. I'm really happy that we kind of have a captain in him, but he still listens to everyone. We still make decisions together and everything.
But you guys seem to all have your own ideas of Dota, and you get to put them in your gameplay, right?
Yeah, everyone has like, especially when it comes to the different lanes, I'm happy that everyone gets to play the lane they want to, how they want to, you know. I know that whatever I want to play on mid lane, Sneh is gonna support me.
I'm curious about that. When you first described your idea of the mid lane to them, how was the conversation?
I think it started with Winter Wyvern.
The Wyvern? Ah.
And I was just playing the hero in a pub, and I got pushed into playing it in scrims, basically. It's not like I was saying from the beginning that, oh, I want to play this hero, it's so broken in pubs. I started being more open to the idea of playing different heroes, and every time like I started winning with things, people saw it and supported me and pushed me as well. I think everyone is very open to trying new things in his team.
How are the feelings towards finals?
I try not to think too much about it because I think the more you think about it, the more you'll overthink things. And you should just treat it as another game you're playing. It's not a big deal. Obviously, there's going to be a big crowd. You just have to mentally prepare yourself for that in advance. So then you're not overwhelmed by it by the time that the crowd is there.
I'm excited, honestly, which is a very good thing because I'm rarely excited.
I was very much like emotionally neutral, so I just want to go in these games, like play my game and just have fun and like show some good Dota to the viewers. So.
How does it feel to play in front of a big crowd at TI? Is it different than when you play like in the majors or anything like that?
For now, it has been easier than all the other crowds I've played in front of. I really feel like all the things come together this TI. Like so many moments, so many losses in the past year that taught me specific things. I use them now to win.
I'm just excited that I've been playing this game for like 15 years now, or Dota 1 and Dota 2 combined, and I finally get the opportunity to play on this arena and get the grand finals. It's been a dream of mine for many years, and I'm just happy and grateful that I was able to accomplish it.
Like, yes, this is kind of going to be the biggest game of my life, but I think something we've been working about with our psychologists to kind of try and lower the stress is that all our hard work has already been done. Like, now all we have to do is just go and play. So what I would like to do is just try not to think about it too much, pretend this is just a regular game, and just go and play.
It was always my goal to come to TI and to win it. And since I've made it to the finals, I'm very happy for myself and for my teammates that I managed to do it. And now, you know, it's the final step. I'm ready to take it.
It's been like very long and very stressful road, even in some ways. And you even have this feeling of being burnt out a bit. But now it's finally here. I'm just super happy, and it's like the only thing left to do is just play.
So there we have it. Tundra sitting down with Avo, and I just got to congratulate whoever the psychologist is. Either you've just worked magic and they're doing meditation, or you've got them all on meds, because they are the most chill team. That's a grand final, pre-grand final sit-down interview. They were so calm. They're here and they just want to take it. And they might 3-0.
I feel like they could just win like 4 TIs in a row right now. Like, if they keep like, I mean, like right now, like if they play tomorrow another grand finals and then another one and another one, like the fact that they're all 5 just in the same mindset, answering in the same tone of voice, like they're just. Oh,
unit.
That is scary. Like they are one.
I did like the fact, though, they did ask everybody what snaking like as a captain as he sat on the end of the table.
How did he bribe them? Like
he's just going,
He's just sitting there and listening as they praise him for like 10 minutes.
But they should. I mean, they made it to the grand finals, and you know, he's very chill. And